Hello everyone, and welcome to a Viscous cycle. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Sean and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. For those who are new to Dungeons and Dragons, everyone here plays a fantasy character in a fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique character, with sheets that tell them who they are, what they can do, how likely they are to survive a horrific plague, that kind of thing. They will mostly be rolling d20s to determine how they do these things. Usually, the d20, but often other sizes as well, depending on what they are. I think, to be honest, the biggest dice probably will be a d8. Actually, does anyone have a d12 hit dice? Who knows?
I doubt it.
Probably I've got a d10 as a cleric.
So, yeah, we're going to be a healthy bunch. On those d20s, a 20 is a very, very good thing, and a 1 is a very, very bad thing, usually with hilarious and or fatal consequences. Sorry, did I say fatal? I didn't mean that, surely. So, but while they're playing their characters, everything else in the fantasy universe is played by me. So people, monsters, the weather, we'll see what comes up, really. These lot have no idea, or do they? Between me describing the world and the story, the players describing what they want to do in it, and some dice rolls to keep things unpredictable for all of us, we will tell our story. So, before we go ahead, I'd like to just ask everyone to... Let's start as we mean to go on. Roll me a con save to determine your speaking order.
Great way to start.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't my actual con.
It's a 12 for me.
12, Johnny?
Yeah, that's a 12 for me.
It's a dirty 20.
14 from me.
You too.
Ooh, I'll tell you that. That's a 25, and knowing Sean, it's probably a fail.
Was that not a 20?
It's gone.
Sorry, Scott, I missed yours just at that.
10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
10's average, that'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Going by the healthiest character at the moment, it's going to be David. Please, would you... I would say keep your character a secret for the moment, but just introduce yourself, your pronouns. If you've got anything else to say, said now or forever hold your peace.
Sure, I hope there's been no teaser trailers announcing who I'm playing. Otherwise, this will be a very misguided attempt at espionage. But yes, I am David. Pronouns are he, him, and I am delighted to be here. And possibly my character has some sort of resistance built up. I mean, who knows? Who knows? We will find out.
That would certainly explain those unnaturally high rolls.
Yes.
Okay, and then we have Tom with a 20. Nice, solid start.
Solid
as it may be.
I'm going to get out of my system. I'm going to be sickly for the rest of the campaign. Hi, I'm Tom, he, him. Maybe I also have a reason that I'm resistant to this hideous plague. Also, fun fact, I dreamt about this character and I said, I'm going to put you in the next time I play. So let's see if this appeases the dream gods.
I mean, if they're any relation to the dice gods, then probably not. Cool. And then we go down to a sickly 14. Ooh. Josh.
Hello there. I'm Josh. I use he, him pronouns. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, hi.
Well, carrying on perhaps in that vein, Johnny, would you, with your measly 12...
Yeah, I'm Johnny. I use he, him. I kind of feel like I'm cheating a bit. You said that this isn't based on health and how healthy people are. I feel like I've cheated and I should have actually rolled a 5 or maybe a 4, but we'll see why later as to why I should probably be lower down the scale.
I mean, if it doesn't come up now, then when will it come up?
Yeah, true. I had a minus to my saving throw for con, which
And so Scarlet with your 10, bottom of the... Let's say in the ward on some sort of incubator.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
And Scarlet, she, they. I am probably not the unhealthiest. You don't know that.
Just the unluckiest.
There you go.
And we'll hope that that doesn't continue. But, I'll certainly be taking advantage of it if it does.
Yeah.
Right. Before we kick off, I've got some admin to go through. So this stream will run for roughly 3 hours, depending on whether I remember to press start on my timer or not, which I definitely have already done, surely. There will be a roughly 5 to 10 minute break somewhere near the middle. We can't tell you exactly when because we are making it up as we go along. So we'll try and put it in at the point that makes the most sense, like determined by the story, combat, I won't do it in the middle of someone's turn unless I really, really have to. Depends how long you take. We are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. Hero Forge, if you don't know, offer fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy races and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D, in-depth character creator right in your web browser. I believe there might also even be an app. Oh, thank you, Josh. We've got a model there as well. This is the thing that I always forget is props. So you can actually get the most out of your Hero Forge with a pro subscription, which allows you access to all sorts of tools such as the photo booth, beta access to new functions such as 2 minis on one base, which I'll be honest, I've seen most people use that for 1 mini squished together on top of itself so that it can have a waistcoat and a t-shirt or something along to that effect. But yeah, Hero Forge Pro, I mean, I'm a fan. I think everyone should be. We are delighted to also be sponsored by Ultra Pro. So get your tabletop organized with character folios and dice bags. Ultra Pro is the leading manufacturer and supplier of sports and gaming collectibles accessories, as well as other gaming accessories. So head over to ultrapro.com for more information. Did I actually give Hero Forge's website? Heroforge.com.
2020.
You wouldn't believe that I've done this before, would you? All right. We are also sponsored by the wonderful Elderwood Academy, who are the premium purveyors of bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck box rolling trays disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice towers with rolling tray pairings. One of these days I'll get through that one. Yeah, you can currently get 10% off your Elderwood purchase with the code roll-together. I got it all in caps. I have no idea if it makes a difference, but go ahead, try it every way. Maybe do alternating. It's your life, live it. You can find out more at elderwoodacademy.com. We're also supported by D&D Beyond, your guide to digital D&D, and you can see everyone's character sheets on the overlay on the left-hand side. Now I'm going to indicate this way, and then I'm going to indicate that way because I have no idea which way I'm facing. Probably that way. Answer in chat. We are also supported by Level Up Dice. There's a link in chat for our table shakers range. Now, I don't suppose anyone's got a table shaker. They're huge. They're mahoosive metal things. Table denters, they should probably call them. But, worth the money. Certainly want my table to have as many battle scars as I have.
Table enders.
If you hear the crunch, that's the table. We are also supported. Listen out for the crunch. We're also supported by 2 lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. Thank you. You're doing me.
I am doing you, yes.
You could tell that I was distracted by. Anyway, you can see some of the codes at the bottom of the screen. You can type !Idle Champions and !Warriors of Waterdeep into the Twitch chat for download links. And also for Idle Champions is a code that you can directly enter into the game, or type !code into Twitch chat right now. You can get yourself a gold chest. Whereas for Warriors of Waterdeep, sorry?
Electrum chest.
It's an Electrum
Old-
chest.
Yeah, old copy.
Old copy. Whereas for Warriors of Waterdeep, you can type !WOW gems, WOW gems, into Twitch chat for a link, which you'll then need to use on the mobile device, which you have the game downloaded, for free gems. I believe that is currently 80, 75, 80.
80 sounds right. Yeah.
I could just not say it and,
It's
people
an
will find
amount.
out. There are gems, and the hunt for gems is real. We are Roll Together RPG on all socials. There will be links in chat, so do please like, follow, subscribe, heart, swipe right. I don't know, we might be on Tinder. A massive
for us.
I'm not. Anyway, a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat, so help us make our shows from just £1/$1/€1 and other currencies as well. And you can unlock more tiers by joining as well. Our D20 Club are awesome. They've even set up a fan wiki for us, !wiki in the chat. As well as we've got a fan Discord, !Discord in the chat to find out more about those and join and talk to our players sometimes. Our shows are also available as podcasts. Just search Roll Together RPG on your favorite podcasting app. If you can't find us on your favorite podcasting app, of course, let us know, because we want to be on them all. We want complete dominion over the internet, and you can help us achieve that aim. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think the one has been missed. You can check out !safety in chat for content warnings, of which there are many for this particular stream, and some of the safety tools that we use throughout the TTRPG safety toolkit. One of those is pause cards, which you will never see before we edit them out, but we use those when things get a bit too much. We need the loo. Someone wants a mouthful of chips. Oh no, it's an incidental. All right. Disclaimer. That is the one time you will see a pause card.
I hope you enjoyed
There you
it.
go.
That's all you're getting.
Lies.
I mean, the excitement's too much for some.
We fully plan on colouring it in as the week goes on.
The show's just peaked now with the pause cards, right?
You only get one of those,
home.
Josh. Right. I believe that that's everything. So let us delve into the horrible depths with I can't even remember my own thing. With a viscous cycle. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. So, the setting is Neverwinter, a city that has undergone a number of unfortunate events. There was an eruption several decades ago. There have been chasms opening into the abyss. There have been a recent plague, as those of you who may have seen another stream DM'd by some psychotic individual, his name escapes me. These are all things that have happened to this fair but unfortunate city. And, who knows, maybe more fairly unfortunate things are about to happen as well. The scene opens, as many films do. The atmosphere is dark. There's a kind of red hue to the It's mid-morning as the sun begins to rise. the landscape turns to orange, and the camera pans, and we find walking alongside the Neverwinter River. David, would you please describe your character?
Yes. So Eltrion is around about 5'5", very slightly built, half drow, favouring the drow side of his heritage. There's not much that stands out about him, apart from possibly the fact that one arm is actually missing and is just gold grafted onto bone, and also the fact that it seems to be tossing a coin up and down without using his hands. So that's also possible. Looks like a half elf on a mission, looking slightly exasperated, perhaps because what he thought might happen previously had not in fact come to pass. Perhaps if you look deep into his eyes, there's a great evil still out there that needs to be smitten like a kitten.
Yes, sound effects provided by Pumpkin just then.
Don't smite the actual kitten, please.
No, we're not smiting actual kittens. I want to be very clear.
We don't have a paladin this time round, so no smiting. Unless you have access to their smell, in which case, smite away. So as you are sauntering down, you're heading along the river. You're passing the Dolphin Bridge, so the river is on your left. And there's a fair amount of kind of riverbank. It's kind of like one of those raised promenades that you're walking along at the moment. What's your passive perception, please?
Passive perception is a 12.
Wow.
Just for flavour, wearing a brown sort of travelling cloak and mud on the boots and so on. This is not his finery. This is just everyday trudger wear.
Okay. So you are making your way. At the moment, you're making your way from the kind of Blue Lake district along the river with the intention of going to the Temple of Kalemvor, which I will not go into your mission, but this is where you're headed at the moment. When out of the corner of your eye, you see lying slumped on one side. Tom, would you please describe for me your character?
Sure. So you see a corpse. It is dressed in what you would think of as circus finery. A long red coat covered in patches, boots, trousers, handsome. Apart from it, yep, that is a dead man. Copper hair, eyes shut at the moment, red scarf. I might describe more as we get further, but yeah, there's a body.
So Eltron, you spot this thing, which fairly incongruous in the kind of fairly sparse mud of the riverbank, and then you just see this figure. It's not uncommon to just see random body, particularly at this sort of time in the morning. But what would Eltrion's reaction be to such a thing?
It's another Tuesday in the big city. It's unusually dressed. Like it looks like most bodies that died around here would be stripped and have taken all their valuables. So it's a sort of this town's getting even worse than it was before, and just giving it a psionic poke.
I roll over and just sort of, and the corpse starts getting up. You notice, first of all, there's a knife in its back. And second of all, as it stands up, he has very startling sort of violet eyes. Also, someone's placed a knife in his mouth and cut him from cheek to cheek, giving him a permanent smile. And gets up and sort of looks and goes, did you just poke me?
I mean, that's your first question. My question would be slightly more along the lines of, how are you moving? You've got a knife in your back.
Oh. pop the shoulder back in. That's a bit odd.
Bit odd indeed, yes.
Hello.
Hi. Should I be slaying you right about now? Are you a nice undead?
Oh, I'm dead. All right, that makes sense.
Well, that would explain the smell, yes, unless you're going for some particular shade of cologne that I haven't hitherto experienced.
I mean, I've been lying in a ditch, it seems. No, I don't have any desire to eat you. Sorry, do you know who I am?
I can try and find out.
Be useful. Absolutely no idea.
I mean, give me a history check.
Me?
Yeah, may as well.
Sure.
I mean, you can both try.
I mean, Sean, I have nothing.
I mean, it was going to be that or detect thoughts. That's a 14.
14. You feel like an individual dressed in this manner, you would have some inkling. There's something tickling at the back of your head that you're just like, it's going to bug me. It's going to bug me. I should know this, but it's not quite coming to you.
I don't know who you are right now, but if you want to come along, it feels as though it's on the tip of my tongue, so to speak. And
I mean, I just woke up dead, and you're literally the first person to my memory, have ever met. So I'm not evil. I just have to check. Are you evil?
I would say not. No.
Right.
In Giacomo's voice, he has, "You have returned from beyond the grave. Trust the half-elf, because his soul you will save." Ooh.
Pull down. All right. Oh God. God. The gods are talking to me.
You're right there, pal.
Nope.
So they went a
I'm sort
little-
of like looking up with the huge. Very clearly not all right. But I mean, a voice in my head just told me to trust you. So
All right. Yeah, I do have one of those faces. It's true.
yeah. And I mean, and that little girl that's standing next to you also says to trust you. So yeah. All right.
Well, let's get off on the right foot, shall we? Snaps fingers, and at least I can't do anything about the holes,
Yeah.
the stabbing, but at least the clothes that you're in are now not grimy and don't stink quite as much of effluence.
My own effluence, my own blood, and just a general ditch watcher. Yeah.
What's your name, Pally? Do you know?
Hold on. And start sort of going through my pockets and like, maybe I have like some form of documentation or I think again I take the coat off, I look at it and go, Giacomo. Put it back on.
Eltron is just thinking like that could just as easily be the coat maker, but okay, right, Giacomo.
And
Giacomo, you can trust the half-elf.
and I point next to you, like, you also stop it. Stop singing your lullabies. Right, Giacomo, my name's Giacomo, and you are...
My name is Eltrion. For obvious reasons, I sometimes go by Golden Hand.
So look at it and like, well, which one would you prefer, Eltron or Golden Hand?
Oh, as you wish, my friend. Right. You're lucky you ran into me as it goes. I happened to be about some business this fine morning, and well, you look like someone who could stop a knife.
I mean, pick up the knife and look at it, and I mean, I've died once. You know.
Well, Pally, if you're looking for a life of adventure with little possibility of reward, you've come to the right place. Now, what say I get you a little bit of a drink as we go? We'll try and figure out who you are, and if you're at a bit of a loose end, I can fill you in on a little something that I'm up to myself.
I mean, as much information as you could give me, I literally am a blank slate right now.
Yes, but you must trust the half-elf. No problem, Pally. Stick with me, I'll see you're all right.
At some point, I'll give you an insight check to see whether you realize what's going on, but this doesn't feel like the time.
No, it's fair. It's just everything's very confusing. I'm like, why would? Also, I do canonically speak to ghosts as part of my class, so I'm just like, yeah, the ghosts are yelling at me now.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sort of harshly mislead you. It's just it's very much this chaotic neutral kind of just having a bit of fun at your expense. But you do notice that every time Eltrion kind of plays, like every time there's a mind in your head. If you do notice, Eltrion kind of slightly guiltily fingers his harper pin. He's not really supposed to be doing this sort of thing anymore.
Who am I going to tell?
Well, exactly.
I'm dead.
Elminster's not on speed dial. That's fine.
So as you begin to make your way to the Temple of Clemvor, which is in the kind of center south of the city, near the Neverdeath graveyards, because this is where they have to do a lot of their the main base of their operations, if you like. You arrive at the temple, and as you enter through the large dark stone pillar entryway to the shrine, you enter in and you can see that in the main hallway there are a lot of people gathered. There are tables at the far end where people Eltrion would recognize dressed in the garb of the faithful of Clemvor. And then the mass of people who are stood on the other side of those desks appear to be standing in a snaking line, which appears to be aided by a series of posts that have been set up with a variety of rope stretched between each of them. They haven't yet invented the number system, so you can join the end of the queue.
Take a ticket.
As you do enter into the shrine, actually, Josh, could you please? Sorry, I point that way because that's where you are on my screen. This might be completely wrong, and you might see me do a random thing. Josh, could you describe your character for me?
So Jakarth is a 6 foot tall human, we'll say human-looking person with black hair, sort of slicked back with graying bits on it. He's got these brown eyes that portray how old he actually is. His physique looks like he might be in his mid-30s, but his eyes show that he's actually a lot older than that. He's wearing very sort of padded leather armor, and you can see that he has a long bow on his back with a quiver of arrows. And on his left arm, the most striking thing to his appearance is that his left arm is that of a Dragonborn's arm. He completely red-scaled Dragonborn, and he has red scales going all the way up his head, up into his beard, up around his temples, sort of up there, nothing on his face. And you can see he's got scales going down his neck there as well. And he's currently leaning up against the wall next to where there would probably be some candles that are lit for those who have been lost during a plague, perhaps. And he's just leaning up there with his arms crossed, just watching what's going on.
Oh, so you observe this individual who kind of stands out a bit because he's not dressed in the garb of a Clemvorite, but also doesn't appear to be interested in joining the queue. So he's just kind of set a bit away from all of this. One of the priests does approach, who Jakarth would recognize as the person currently kind of hiring him. Hello, Precious is back. This is Carpo Tyria. Tyria kind of comes up and just says, "All right, Jakarth, right, well, are you all right at your station?"
Right here for the moment, thank you very much. Where is the other priest, the one I must escort?
I mean, we haven't got anything set up just yet. We're waiting on an assignment that's worthy of you, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, I was informed that my presence was requested, so that's why I'm stood here watching people queue.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's more of a kind of a holding, if you know what I mean. We're quite short-staffed.
Understood. I will act in any way you need, as I always have.
We'll have something shortly. Something always comes up.
Thank you.
In the meantime, if you see anyone that looks unfavourable, just let us know. Kind of the capo, if you don't say anything else, starts to kind of turn to head back.
I'll look for the two people who have just entered if I've noticed them and sort of nod towards them.
Do you see someone nod at you as you walk in? The queue is going a fairly reasonable pace. There appear to be a number of priests at the other end of the temple, so it's kind of filtering through. What does Eltron and Giacomo feel about queuing?
Eltron has covered his arm and his hand just because if queuing in this part of town, people will come up and ask him to shave some gold off for them, and it gets very tiring after the first sort of dozen times. Perfectly happy to speak to Giacomo. Here's a new person and a bit of a mystery, which is fascinating. And Eltron's experience of priests is that they move at their own clerical pace, which is on a par with glacial. So there's no sense in trying to speed up the process. There's no sense in trying to make oneself a target, particularly. But so just talking to Giacomo.
Yeah, feel free to have a conversation.
And again, so similarly, Giacomo has pulled his scarf up over his face because he has like an innate feeling of going, people are probably going to look weirdly at the massive scars. But yeah, just sort of, I think, we're just weirdly chill, just sort of enjoying the conversation and just sort of going, I think that's the thing. He's not, despite what you say, he's not a complete blank slate. Like various things are coming back. And you're like, oh yeah, queuing. I remember queuing. I also have memories of like standing on a box and proclaiming things to people in a queue. I don't know what that is, but yeah, just sort of a little bit of kind of going, yeah, where are we? What are we doing?
Yeah. So I'm sort of explaining a little bit about this whole process. Let me know if anything comes back to you, but basically, a little thing about what I've been busying myself with. So essentially, somebody's not dead who ought to be dead. And I have exhausted the contacts that I have outside of the city. And I've come back now to speak to some of these clerics in the hope that they might want to do something about this disease that's becoming endemic to the whole city and the people.
Now, Josh, you would be well aware of this the disease that's been spread out. Colloquially has been known as the bloat, due to the fact that people who contract it begin to lose all definition in their arms, limbs, start to inflate and expand, and eventually become little humanoid balloons that burst and create more people. It's a lovely disease, and thanks to a group of adventurers, you don't necessarily know their names. You could roll a history check actually, but thanks to a group of adventurers who managed to obtain a cure, a remedy for it, you've kind of been able to start rolling out a vaccine, as it were. And this is why the temple's kind of overrun as a mixture of people coming in with various ailments needing cured, but also there seems to have been a spate of people coming back to life. So you might... Did you give me a history roll?
I did. I rolled a 7.
A 7. The names are escaping you.
One of them was an orc with a diamond arm.
You could give me an insight check as well.
That man looks like he cured the plague. That's the way he walks.
7 again.
A 7 again. Yeah, you don't even though you're working in a temple that's dealing with a large influx of reborn people, you look over at Giacomo and you don't even clock that he's
I think part of that is, as I said, is like I've got the scarf up, I've got like my hat down.
I would be encouraging you in this regard because clerics and the undead not so great, and Kellenvite clerics and the undead. I've just met you. I don't want to see you slain or cast out again.
Yeah.
You seem nice. I just hate to see you be smited. Yeah.
So I'm stood there at the moment with my back against the wall, sort of leaning up against it, and as I do, I'm sort of scanning over this entire room, and at one point I see one of the clerics who might be carrying a bit too much goes to stumble and fall, and quicker than a flash I'm there and grabbing the stuff to stop it all from just smashing all over the floor. Don't worry, priest, I've got it. And I'll set it down. Yeah, are you okay? Do you want me to help you carry this?
yeah. Thank you. Jokarth, isn't it? Jokarth?
It is, yes.
It's been a long shift. I've been here since sunup. So, what time is it?
It is getting close to tea time. Where do you need this stuff to go?
Just at the front. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll just pick it all up and I'll just walk it to the front and put it down.
As the queue has kind of been wending its way along, Eltrion and Giacomo find themselves near the front of the queue, and as you scan your eyes along, you see a variety of priests, including Johnny. Could you please describe your character?
Of course, yeah. So when you look over at the priest and you see one, a big build, but also kind of almost withered, slightly hunched, skinny, but a very large kind of orcish frame. But there's not a lot of muscle or meat there. Obviously, Kellenvite clothes on, a plague mask hooked to his waistband, and the big kind of black robes with silver lining on. And as you look over, you hear him. Well, this is one dose of holy water. Now, if it gets any worse, make sure you see an actual doctor and make sure you don't inhale it again. Remember, it won't cure everything. And then he dips his fingers in and just flicks it at these people, and then puts the stopper back on, mutters a little spell, and these runes, kind of divine runes, fall over it. And he hands it over. And if it carries on itching, please come back immediately. And he hands it over before looking around and waving the next person forward.
The pair of gnomes in front of you.
Oh, yes, no, it's just brilliant. I love that. It's good. I hope it lasts this time.
But just sparingly. We don't have infinite quantities.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll be back next week. See you later.
Oh, no, please
You
don't.
need to teach abstinence in this city.
The reason this particular priest catches your eye is that stood next to them. Scarlet, please describe your character.
You see a woman-shaped, a very slender woman-shaped, very dirty dress type armor, and all leathered and with a hood up, with sort of metal glasses. Just looks exceedingly bored, and just twitching and slightly staring at people as they get closer, and then getting bored again. Ugh. You should have flicked more in that one's eye.
I think that would be quite appropriate now, would it? Remember, people who are living stay living, and we don't harm them or eat any part of them.
Oh, I'll try to remember that.
Right.
And as the queue has moved on, and these pair of gnomes have gone by, Eltrion and Giacomo, you are at the front of the queue and able to go up to Rex's station.
Eltrion is just casually eating some cheese.
Step forward now, my brethren.
How you doing?
Fairly well. Here, I dip my finger in some holy water and flick it at both of you.
Sorry, perhaps
Blessings on both of you.
take the hood back. Perhaps you might recognize me.
Ah, hello there, my son, Eltrion. It's a pleasure to have you back again.
I wish it was a pleasure to be back.
How's the arm?
Brother, some kind of relation.
Father Rex is fairly fine.
Right, Rex it is.
I see you brought a friend into our lovely church.
Oh, yeah, this is Giacomo.
Nice to meet you.
Is the smell a little bit unpleasant? There are a lot of people in here.
Don't worry, Father, we won't hold it against you.
That's not... It's a natural bodily odor, and not always from me.
It's quite common in a man of your age and stature, Father.
Giacomo is cracking up.
No embarrassment necessary whatsoever.
I'm not quite sure what embarrassment is.
I can believe that, Father. I can.
Now, what may I be quite of a service to you? Now, Hera, don't get too close. Staring is bad. Remember to blink.
Well, Father, I don't know how far this has to go, but I'm starting at, forgive me, the bottom. Someone who should be dead isn't.
Well,
I arranged at no small expense. I mean, it wasn't Eltrion that paid for it. The Harpers funded it. To try and get someone reincarnated to be told that they won't pass beyond. Now, you will know, Father, who I'm talking of.
I most definitely will. Would I, Sean?
Give me a history roll.
Yes, let me just rack my brain for a second.
How much do the bosses tell you? That's the question.
That's a 14.
14. You've been given more information than most. So you've been fairly privileged in this. So you're aware that the individual that Eltrion is talking about is Jorok Antoni, the misguided wizard who caused a lot of the issues that are currently plaguing the city and causing your workload to go through the roof. Probably in no small part why you remember his name. You wouldn't necessarily know why Eltrion's been unable to resurrect him.
Those that should stay dead would, as our Lord Kellenvor says, that those who pass beyond are under his charge. You must know that. So if
I make eye contact with Hera. Just like, what's up?
Do you have like a sixth sense with each other?
We can sense it.
It's just very slowly getting very close. Just like,
Maybe it's a Styx sense.
Yes.
hello.
That might be the hashtag team until we find anyone. Team 6. Yeah. No, carry on. I was
truly, Father, passive, just looking around, all understanding. Now, I'm here to tell you that this ongoing problem with the plague, it started with Antoni. It's going to finish with Antoni. It's personal now.
If he's gone, then that is for the best. Then, Hera, what are you doing? You're like getting closer and closer. Yeah. Like, no, we don't bite.
We're leaning over the table, almost like face to face, just sort of like.
Slightly romantic violin music coming from somewhere.
Well, I'm
poking his face.
I lean forward to stop, and then I just retract slightly.
Fingering my wounds. Very rude.
This one's fresh. You see?
I mean, yeah, I was just come back. I was murdered. Sort of look around going, do I report that? Is that?
Oh God, we've got another one!
Ah!
Hold on.
I grab my plate mask.
No need to be going all
knives in hand. Like,
no need
what's
to
happening?
be going all last rites. Okay.
Oh no!
Giacomo's all right.
You misunderstand. We are very, very aware of these creatures coming back to life. I don't want to presume.
No creature, brother.
No. Well, and you kind of, you a little bit are. I would put the
read the room,
down.
Father.
You are fairly outnumbered between many people who are.
I've already died once today.
Specially trained at obliterating people like you. And Jakov.
Right behind you. As soon as the knives came out, I was behind Rex with my bow drawn. I suggest you put those knives down, undead one.
Well,
You consider me a creature dragon? Oh.
You're as much of a creature as I am, but you look like a person to me as I do, so I have no issue with you. I have an issue with the fact that you have knives raised within a holy place. Put them down.
Put the knives down, and we can talk normally. It's not a problem that you're back from the grave. The problem is you're not registered. And I rifle through some paperwork and pull out a form.
Oh, I need to be on a list. Is that how this is working?
Yeah.
Spin back in. Like, okay. Spin nice.
Jakoth, just keep an eye on him. Hera, no biting.
No. What was that?
What?
No, what?
He's paranoid. Pay no attention to the old man.
No biting, Shakira.
Oh, I'm very much taking a long, close look at Hera, seeing what the fuck is going on.
I poke my longbow towards Hera's mouth, and you can see that on the end of the longbow is some gnaw marks. I'm just like, here you go.
Right then.
I reach into my cloak and just pull out a single gold star, and I just stick it on one of her arm plates. I must register you, and this will be kept obviously within the church, and we won't track you, but we will have information. If you would just answer a couple of questions for me, sir. Your date and place of rebirth, if you don't mind.
Ditch out that way about 20 minutes ago.
What? A ditch? Where was this ditch? There was a fair few in the city. Were you like in a house, in a grave, in a river?
Nope, I got enough on my back and someone threw me in a ditch.
Oh. Eltion, you seem to be more aware of this man's physical being. Would you mind stop eating and tell me, where did you find this creature? Man.
I can multitask, Father. I've got amnesia. I found him in a ditch a ways back on the way here. Nobody seemed to be giving no bother, no never mind to him.
Oh,
I guess
the river.
he was killed last night.
Okay,
maybe
perfect.
Some early hours of this morning.
River ditch, then. Perfect. Good idea for a name. Do you remember your current place of residence, i.e. your address?
I think you were just told I got amnesia, priest.
Well, think.
Okay.
You can have a history roll at disadvantage.
Oh, by the way, my name is Mike.
I've got 7 kids.
I love solving a mystery in the first episode.
I'll offer Hera some cheese.
That is, with disadvantage, that is a 4.
You remember seeing something in the coat, just like kind of stitched into the hem, something about a kind of 34 Cotton Street, 56 Polyester Drive.
Yeah. I'm just going to, so 34 Cotton Street, 56 Polyester Drive, and 2 Wool.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, for now, we'll put down the church here, the Never Death Cemetery for now.
Yeah, just put me down as a grave.
Your names or name?
I guess my name is Giacomo Riverditch.
You see him starting to write Jack at J-A-C-K.
That's fine. I don't care if you get it wrong.
Jack River.
Giacomo Riverditch.
Oh, I haven't written this many letters in a long time. Your occupation, if you remember it. Judging by your attire, it seems like you may have been some kind of performer.
Sure, entertainer.
Entertainer? Well, we need more of them around here. It gets very dull.
Or valet if you should wish to be so.
Oh, a valet.
I sort of gesture. I'm like, all right, I'm a valet.
Hold these water skins.
Entertainer puts down valet.
We'll organise the contract later on, but for now, that's my fucking encumbrance sorted.
I'm your passport too.
Yeah.
He's a meat cushion. He's a knife cushion. He's a valet. What more do you want?
Everyone that works for me holds water skins.
Last but not least, do you have any next of kin we may notify of your passing and accidental or on purpose resurrection?
hold on, I'm gonna get that 1,000-yard stare again. Going right. What have I got? History again, and that's an 11.
You're thinking back, and there's nothing. It's all just kind of very cloudy, just kind of grasping at ideas. You be something, be, boo, die, something like that.
Be, boo, bye, but orphan.
Okay. Well, that's quite okay. Now, I will need to get this processed. It will take a few minutes. I'll get one of my clerks to come and take this D34D form and get you registered. There will be a badge to come along with it. And perhaps for a little bit of reborn orientation, you might have a slight liaison with communication with my colleague here, with my Hera. Would you be so kind just to give Giacomo the rundown of what is acceptable to eat and the such?
She'll remove the bow from her mouth.
Yeah.
No eating the fleshy ones. They don't like it.
I mean, I wasn't intending to, but
You might find the urge later if you get bored. The paperwork means absolutely nothing. They'll forget it.
Oh.
So that was all pointless. Welcome to the club.
Get a badge. It sounds great.
Well, it's not that impressive.
Mm. Is it rude to ask, when did you die? How long have you been in the club?
There's a club? Oh, God, I need to write that down.
We're unionizing.
Oh, shit.
Oh, darn. This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
A few months, I think. I try not to think about it, to be honest.
Were you murdered? Do you need to solve your murder?
Think I must have been rotting longer than you were. As you can see, her face is all withered and very sunken in. She shows off a little of her very scraggly hair underneath her hood. Not many memories left up here.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, I've got very little myself, so nice to meet you.
You too.
Just like two awkward people. Like, it's like when your parents are like, "Oh, you know each other." You talking like, "Oh, hello." Hi. You like Pokemon?
Stamp some paperwork, and then you hand over this little badge, like your little registration badge. Make sure you keep this on you at all times, and if any clerics attempt to destroy you with smiting or radiant fire of death, just show the card and tell them you're registered, and it should all be fine.
My eyes squint to this. I look at Elshon and little head shake.
It happens more than you want it to.
It's perfectly safe-ish. Altrion, why you wish this person, he is dead or he is not dead and you wish him to be dead? Sorry, my brain, not quite as bad as theirs, but also not great.
To the best of my knowledge, Father, and for people with a lot more power and understanding than I have, he is not dead and he should be dead. And I would like him to be dead because that will mean a lot of people being safe. And also, of course, that would be some expenses incurred that the church might see its way to being grateful, possibly giving a license to, shall we say, research in some particular areas, this kind of thing. This has gone outside of Eltrion's Harper brief, but the Harpers more or less forced him to work for them because of precisely that kind of research that was going on in the first place. I'm not evil. I'm just misguided. So that's the long and the short of it, Father. If you know anyone who can prove the guy's alive, we can find him. We can shut this shit down.
Well, main concern would be that if he is indeed operating again, and this infection that we have just managed to remedy is going to be rampant once more. But perhaps we should take this a little bit further than my lowly station and see if we can get you an audience with someone a little bit more important than I.
Whatever you think,
Basically
Father.
everyone.
Basically,
You've earned my trust. You seem a stand-up kind of cleric, as far as they go.
Well, that's quite. I'm a little bit more tolerant than some.
Just looking up at Jakarth, just be like, what about you, big fella? I bet you'd love to put a nefarious revenant back in the grave now, wouldn't you?
Sounds like a challenge. I'm in.
Oh, Jakarth, what have I told you about swinging things too much?
So Rex, you would be able to go up to Carpotaria if you wanted to. If you wanted to pursue this as a potential mission for yourself and your ward.
Of course. Well, however, I know you're extremely bored here watching me flick water at people constantly all day, and my old bones are starting to solidify into that of a statue. I guess some excitement may be good for both of us.
Something to research would be interesting.
Bit better. Well, I do not. I have spent too long in this plague in this place. Perhaps getting some fresh, undiluted air might be agreeable. Why don't we go and see if we can find our old Tiara?
Tyria.
My brain, Tyria.
So it's Carpotyria, Capotyrea.
That's not how I wrote it down. There you go, Pep.
Is the church the mafia? Is that what it is?
Maybe. Well, it depends on who you are.
Yes.
I open up the stores and go, yeah, well, coming through, newly registered undead Giacomo and Eltrion.
You put up your position closed sign.
Position closed. So I look behind some dwarfs. I'm so sorry, you'll have to rejoin the back of the queue.
Oh, but the itch! I got the itch!
Now that we're moving away from the scrofulous and the itchy, I'll reverse the cloak. And then the other side is very resplendent purple and gold. Very, very much the epitome of Byzantine opulence, or so Eltrion would like to believe.
Oh, Eltrion, ever the extravagant man. Right. Carpo! Carpo! It's not working.
So you find Carpotyria is busying herself around with some of the other priests who are just kind of doing some of the kind of clerical work behind the scenes sort of thing. By the way, I have entirely forgotten what accent I've used. So, the troubles of...
Oh, you and me both, Sean. I don't know if this was what Eltrion sounded like in the last.
It's the disease. That happens to us all.
It's the first thing it affects is the vocal cords.
Yeah, it erodes the accent, making it switch all the time.
So you find the Carpo just talking to some people and... Rex, so I suppose that you're... I've just borrowed Eltrion's accent. I suppose you finished for the day?
I think I'm finished one thing and starting another. I move to the side and show Giacomo and Eltrion. I believe you have something quite interesting to the church and also to myself. I would allow them to say their piece. If you would lend us your ears for just a moment, we'll give them back.
Of course, Eltrion, but the church is forever indebted to you, so, give us whatever you need.
Well, to put it in the simplest terms, Antoni has not passed beyond, and in all likelihood is tied very closely to the current situation here. So, I would like to have the church's backing and permission and resources to find him, put him down, and put him out.
Right, well, I mean, you must appreciate as much as we want to help you as fully as we would in normal times. We're a bit stretched at the moment. I can, however, offer to pay for Jakarth's services, and if you wish to take Rex and Hera along with you, then that would be not a problem.
Agreeable to me.
Well, I think we are a party with a very specific set of skills, Capo. I think we'll find them. We'll kill them. We'll get it done. Giacomo,
Yes, boss.
how'd you like to earn another gold?
The hunt for gold is real.
Just flick him a gold coin.
Don't worry, he's registered.
Taria is looking kind of all the while. Giacomo's scarf was up, was fine, but then something was pulled down.
Put down.
Just the kind of very slight, like, okay.
Yeah.
And Capo, just one more thing, just leaning in and then just speaking directly into her mind. When this is done, I would like perhaps to have some research that I'd like to do looked at. Maybe the church can come on board with it for services rendered.
The capo tries to remain a neutral while responding. They can respond, can't they? Oh no, they can't.
Yeah, they can. They can speak into my mind.
Just says, get this done, and we can see about your next exploit.
Smile and a wink.
Do you have any leads?
Several. Oh, for him.
No. Was I told anything when I tried to get the spell done
You
about where they might be, where Tony might be?
So, you attempted to have Antoni resurrected using the hair you collected, wasn't it? From
specifically reincarnating.
Yeah. So you were attempting to reincarnate Antoni. However, when you tried, found that the spell had failed due to him already having been called to back to this plane. Mm-hmm. You spent the last couple of weeks chasing down other leads, much to your chagrin. Very difficult because he was so old and from a different time, there was not a lot of contemporary acquaintances. The best that you could find was a person by the name of Ryan. That's all you've been able to hear. You don't know whether that might be a lead.
Here's a question for you, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Is the hair still his hair?
The hair, as in the hair that you cut from.
Yeah.
Depends what you would define his hair. I mean, it belonged to his body.
If it's his hair, it's potentially like a +10 on any scry checks. Or it's a very powerful magical component with regard to certain spells of which I have knowledge. Perhaps a bonus thereof, a 10 of the plus variety.
Would it have been consumed by the spell, however?
Not all of it. Oh, it's up to you. I mean, you can argue that it all sort of burnt up, but Eltrian knows how spell works.
How much hair did you take? Was it like a huge chunk?
Like a clump.
Yeah.
Quickly looking up the scry spell. You might have enough for one attempt, but probably not multiple.
Yeah, and I don't know how to cast a spell, but maybe the church does. Is my point. Maybe I have enough to give them like one go.
Okay.
There's lots of things that can make you undetectable, but I think it'd be worth at least. It would make sense to try, I guess.
Yeah, if you wanted to pass that on to Taria, then
yeah, it's like basically this could be a lead. See what you can do with that. It's it's a one shot, but you never know what might happen. And also, do you know anyone called Ryan?
A look of recognition kind of passes over the Carpo's face, and she heads over towards it's a large wardrobe with several drawers, which the Clemberite priest would know as the wardrobe of information storing. Kind of pulls out a drawer and kind of rifles through, goes to R for Ryan. We don't know much about this individual, but we're aware that they appear to be a middle person of sorts, someone who can source even the most difficult ingredients, components, locations. I wish I had more for you, but the best I've got is this potential previous known address. And Tyria hands you a note that just says number 2 Phaetonian Street.
Well, it's something.
I mean, we will try to source someone who could do this scrying for you. In the meantime, try your luck there. See what you find.
Will do. Everyone looking around at the others. How do you feel about tracking down some great evils?
I'm supposed to be quite good at tracking, so I'm in.
Good man, Jakarth.
Didn't have anything else planned.
I can believe that, Giacomo. No,
That
sure,
you can remember.
sure beats a day of
I saw
lying
point
in
over my
shite.
shoulder. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Finally, the old man's got a point.
Father chuckles.
Yes. Yeah, I believe this is probably a good thing.
Hey, last time I did one of these, we didn't even have a priest, so.
Well, imagine how much better it's going to go.
Oh, if it's anything like your jokes, Father, we're in for a barrel of trifles.
Oh, you'll be wanting me dead before the week's out, I assure you.
And it's very good to very good to have someone along who might be able to make that happen.
Wait.
I won't be offering you any more cheese, but if there's something more to your liking, have no fear. I want to make sure all of you are taken care of, obviously at the church's expense.
Sounds like a good plan. I go where the priest goes.
Man,
Would you like to be reassigned? Would you like to be reassigned, Hera, or would you like to journey forth?
Oh, I go where you go. It'd be fun to investigate, but my actual abilities at the test. Rather than sitting here staring at the common folk.
Try say it a little bit without that, undertone. Yes, yes.
The fleshy, boring ones.
I like you.
That one laughs too much.
Oh, you've been chastised.
Well, I may never recover from it, Father.
Well, the wardrobe of information is outside my pay grade, so any leads that you have, Eltron, I'd be more than happy to let you take the lead on this, and I will come along with Hera here. And
we have an address. I would say, speaking from experience, be ready for anything. It might seem like an innocuous house call, but, well, to be honest with you, that's what we thought last time, and we ended up in a pocket plane, and it was all quite horrific, if I'm absolutely honest. So I would bring things with you now, just in case.
Well, it's fun, actually.
That's not what most people assign as fun.
I mean, the opportunity to fight an undead being of apparent power in order to create a pocket dimension sounds quite fun to me.
Well, better than picking boxes up. You think we need tools for warfare or tools for healing?
I'd say, based on past experience, healing, diseases, traps, warfare, basically tool up to the fucking Mark's father.
Basically, all of the tools.
You just said everything. Why don't you do the warfare and I'll do the disease and the healing for most of you.
Sounds about right.
I mean, like all of you, of course.
Well, I'm not going to carry much, am I, father?
No, quite not.
Hold up, water skins.
Oh, perfect. We have a mule, a valet. Sorry.
Sorry, David, are you saying that Eltrion's encumbrance is so low that he couldn't even carry a disease? Is that what you're trying to say?
Couldn't.
Because we will test that.
He couldn't
He
carry
carry a tune.
Couldn't carry the through line of an argument. Just snaps. You hear like a hunting horn, but it's obviously it's offbeat.
Perhaps we should take ourselves outside of this wonderful office and church and just quickly assess each other's what we're quite skilled in. If we're going to be fighting potentially together, it'd be good to know exactly what we're capable of. And I'm sure Giacomo Riverditch, you would also like to maybe test yourself to see where your strengths lie, as amnesia may have caused you to forget.
I can spin knives. That's more than I knew 20 minutes ago. Yeah, let's see what I can do.
You can catch knives as well.
Well, why don't we go
put it in my bag.
Well, let's go outside and test that theory. Oh, how exciting.
Right enough. I'm particularly intrigued. I mean, the big fella, you can kind of tell. Father Chuckles can kind of tell. Giacomo, River, Ditch, Knife Back can kind of tell. How are you? You're something of an enigma.
I like it.
I presume sort of walking out of the tent towards an area. So what is your area of specialties?
Well, I seem to have a knack at herbs. That's why they keep me around with this disease. I'm good at the poultices and analysis. Must be some kind of memory involved there, but I'm not sure. And morale. Look at my face.
It's a barrel of sunshine.
Quite. And what do you do other than look fancy? Exactly.
To be fair, looking fancy is 90% of what I do. I have some innate magical abilities that can perhaps manipulate the situation in our favor vis-a-vis us being alive and them not. And certain tricks of the mind, mental willpower, done a lot of self-healing, LLP, that kind of thing. And it's and I need here are his in her mind, or their mind, as you prefer, like this, and then you just get a smile and a wink.
That's quite unsettling. I have enough voices in here as it is.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
So as you head out of the temple, presumably with the intention, Rex, you're thinking kind of some sort of firing range of sorts just to tempt. The temple does have something for, the clerics do maintain a certain amount of physical sorry, I clearly don't exercise myself, otherwise I'd know the word for this, but they do maintain their physicality in a way that people who attend gins would know how to describe, and I do not. There are kind of targets set up and dummies and such like that. What's everyone's passive perception?
12.
11.
13.
18.
18. No, 23.
23 passive perception.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're a priest of Colembor? Because surely that's got to be deal with the devil.
It's D&D Beyond tells me it's 23.
Blimey. Ridiculous. All right.
Good luck getting past me. I
Is
see
that
everything.
observant feat and shield of what's it called?
Oh, I have Sentinel Shield, and
Yeah, Sentinel Shield.
my wisdom's really high, and I'm also proficient in it. And I get advantage in it. That's why.
Well,
Actually, dead people.
as you step out to the, it's kind of like a kind of annex to the Never Death graveyard where this has kind of been set up. Out of I'm going to say anyone who got over a 20, because they are very sneaky. You do see there seems to be someone skulking in a side alley just around the back of the temple. It was an 18, Jakarth, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
You do get the kind of just slight sight of a shadow, but Rex sees a foot, an anthropomorphic animal-like foot, and a tail, just as they kind of turn the corner and try to remove themselves from your view.
Here is our training ground. You may prepare yourselves. Jakarth, I saw something in the alley again. This time it's for real.
I believe you. I saw a shadow as well, and I will break away from the group slowly, move towards it with my bow drawn. Just
Are you trying to be
get a
stealthy?
better look. I will try to be stealthy.
Please roll me a stealth check.
Eltron feels like Jakarth is just setting up some sort of stunt shot.
That is a natural 1 for an 8.
Oh no.
Natural 1. Right, first one of the campaign.
They'll never see me coming!
You're concentrating on too many things at once. You draw your bow, you're kind of trying to be really sneaky, and you don't notice the full-on tombstone that has just been laid out, and you just completely stack it. You fall over onto your face. You do, however, as you fall, get a glimpse into the alleyway where you see four figures with large rat-like ears, very rodent-like facial features, and eyes that are kind of glowering in your direction. I think that's where we will have our break.
Oh no.
You take 10 points of self-esteem damage.
I was half expecting to fall into a grave.
With a 1, making it just lands in a
Tempting.
grave.
Just looking
Tempting,
up.
I'm not going to be that cruel this early on.
Just an old man comes and goes, "This is your grave," and you're like, "Oh, oh."
So, those of you who have watched my streams before will know that I am fond of setting a break time challenge in the form of an anagram. Tom, what are you going to say?
No, I'll get my pencil ready.
So you may have noticed some weird names. Why would you have such weird names? Carpotyria, Capotyrea. Something that you might find in a place of healing. That's the only clue I'm going to get. I'll give you the answer at the beginning of the break, and if any of our players manage to do it in the break that we're about to take, I shall give them a nice little reward. But let's see whether they manage that. See you in a bit. Welcome back. So, at the end of the first half, we set ourselves a little anagram to solve. Capotyrea, Capotyrea. Now, a couple of the players have messaged me and have gotten it correct, but David, you were the one who announced first.
Yes.
So I will allow you to say what was the word.
I'm so pleased because I didn't get a single one of these throughout the entire last campaign. But yes, it is Jim's older brother, Apothecary.
Yes. Something that you might find in a place of healing, an apothecary. So, yes. And I realize, I do know that Carpo is generally associated with mafias, but I was trying everything to try and find something in an organization that fit in with this theme, and I didn't. And I found Carpo, and I thought, well, sod it. Kalemvor is now the mafia of Neverwinter. Canon.
I like it.
Sounds about right.
Neverwinter of the Bloat.
Maybe we can arrange your funeral, if you know what I mean.
So, at the end of in the first half, you all kind of came together, a few insight checks and rolls, and you realized that you were all the protagonists and should probably stick together. You spent some time registering for a rebirth certificate at the Shrine of Kalemvor, and going through all of the kind of clerical stuff that we don't get to see enough of in D&D, or maybe the hour that we've just spent is all that we needed to see ever, and it can now, it's been done. That's it. No more need for that. You decided to go out, having formed yourselves a party, to start looking into the, not really the murder of, the resurrection of a certain individual, Jurok Antoni. And in a kind of attempt to get used to each other, cat's gone. In an attempt to kind of get used to each other and kind of your abilities, went out to the sort of training area of the temple. However, upon leaving the relative safety of the temple itself, spotted some figures skulking in an alley, and unfortunately, due to a natural one, ended up taking a rather more horizontal view than perhaps you might have liked of the four rodent-like individuals who are now just kind of standing there looking a little bit surprised and unsure what to do. I think they thought that they were being a lot stealthier than they were before, clerics with ridiculously high perceptions clocked them. They're just kind of standing there skulking. Some of them do have knives drawn.
Rat folk. I see rat folk, and I get up off the floor. I see rat folk over there. And I halt.
One of them, the bigger of them, walks out. Now, friend. Look, surely we can come up to some sort of peaceful resolution here.
Why do you have your knives drawn at the back of the temple?
Why do you have your bow drawn at the back of the temple?
Because you have your knives drawn at the back of the temple.
No, let me assure you, you did have your bow drawn before we had our knives drawn.
Are you sure about that?
Roll me an insight check.
My passive insight is
We're just doing our idling animations at the back.
Yeah,
and she's throwing knives.
24.
Just juggling dancing lights.
Yeah.
With a 24, you're fairly confident that they did already have their knives drawn, but they also don't seem to be backing down, and they seem to be trying to take the tack of you can't prove it, so we're just going to keep on with this kind of bolster.
What business do you have with the church?
Who said anything about the church? I just want to talk to this guy. Point straight at Eltrion.
Oh. Friends of yours?
Don't happen to know Marine, do you?
Straight to the point. Marine, exactly the person that we were hoping that you might have encountered at this point.
I thought it might be that, so what can I do for you?
Well, we're just a little bit concerned about our little Murine. They haven't come home. Now, the last we heard, Murine had taken a contract with your good self, and we're slightly concerned about our friend's safety, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Roll me a history, David.
6.
6. You're racking your brain trying to remember if Murine ever kind of spoke about the people that they had grown up around, but you're drawing a blank.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair enough because we did have other pressing obligations at the time. I don't know, I'm afraid. Last time I saw them, they were as fine as any of the rest of us. I'm traumatized, obviously. But if I see them, I'll let you know. But I can't think of anything that might give me a clue as to their whereabouts. If I knew, I'd tell you.
Now, see, here's what I think. I think that you know a bit more than you're letting on that you know. And also, I feel like our little Marine has fallen in with bad company. And it would certainly dismay me to know that this company may be something that may have enticed our little Marine into bad habits.
Now, if I was a more aggressive sort of person, I might interpret some of what you just said there as threatening behavior. I'm choosing not to see it as such. If I knew where Marine was, I would tell you. If I knew Marine was in trouble, I would help them. I don't know. And quite frankly, we got more important things to worry about just right this second. Okay.
100% took that as them threatening you, by the way.
I don't think they're that stupid.
Roll me a persuasion check.
24.
24.
It's one of the things I'm good at.
The leader of this it's not really a swarm, is it? What would you call a group of this
Band.
posse, the gang,
Rat posse.
kind of looks at you, makes a kind of clicking sound at the back of their throat, and the other rats all put their knives away. I see. You certainly seem to be a man of your word, so you see Marine, you let them know that the dead rats want them home.
I will. What's your name, by the way, just so I know who to ask for?
You can certainly let Marine know that Skitterbean is looking for him.
Skitterbean. Nice to meet your acquaintance, Skitterbean. Eltridge just filing away the fact that he has a spell that can target people just by saying their name. Good to know. Have yourself a grand old day.
Skitterbean definitely not the smartest of people. Not aware of this. This is Ragtail, Mervyn, Boggles.
Oh, Boggles.
Right enough. Well, you all have yourselves a nice time now, okay? And if you see Marine, tell him I said hello. And if you see any of the others that I was with, although I imagine Barley might have gone a bit mad and feral by now, but nonetheless, tell him I was asking after them.
Sure. Perhaps we can come to some sort of agreement then.
Right. Bye-bye now. You have yourself a good day.
They eventually pick up on what you're saying and all kind of skulk back into the alley.
Saying to Jakar, I really enjoyed that kind of horizontal maneuver that you probably carried out there. They weren't expecting that one bit.
Well, I was completely going for the catch them by surprise element of that. It was completely intentional.
Oh, I could tell that 100%.
Yes.
Yes, you were quite reckless there, Jakarta. I expected more from you.
I was trying to catch them off guard, and I did exactly that.
You're telling lies within the church confines again. That'll be 30 hell cannonballs later for you.
We're not within the temple, so it's fine.
Well, this whole world is within the temple. If you
Don't get me started on that again, priest.
I'll shut up now.
Please.
The whole world's the temple.
We are the temple.
What was the plan again? Were we trying to see how much of a cushion Giacomo was?
I think that was the thing. You were throwing things at me.
We have some dummies here, some fake people with straw and hats and stuff on, and there's some archery targets and also some holes and an area for relative safety for magic if you are so inclined. No large fireballs or anything like that, though. We don't want to start anything we can't put out. But if you'd just like to just show off what you can do, and we can know how best to work together. If we're going to be, as Eltrion says, preparing for warfare.
I think this is as good a time as any to roll initiative. Then,
Against some targets.
It's the tutorial zone.
You must kill 4 giant rats.
Oh, we're supposed to collect rat tails, like in all good RPGs. Oh, no.
That is a 7 for Rex.
And a 7 for me too.
What's your dexterity bonus, both of you?
+1.
+4.
So that will be Giacomo. With the way I like to run it is, if you've got the bigger bonus, you've probably got the better reflexes. So you shall win ties. I did see on my screen, Josh, yours flashed up with the 22.
22 indeed, yes.
And Scarlet, I didn't catch yours.
That's 8.
An 8. And Dave?
19.
19. Okay. So, Jakarth, possibly in a fit of trying to have a slightly better showing this time round, you step up to one of the targets, presumably, or a training dummy. What would you?
I wouldn't even step up. I would just stand from the distance that I am, and I would just instantly fire straight at one of the dummies.
Roll your attack.
I look on proudly.
24 to hit.
Oh, God.
Yes, 24 hits. Roll your damage.
Yeah. How do I do? Oh, there.
If you're on D&D Beyond, you can just click the hit DC.
I rolled max damage. That's a 14.
14. You draw and just a single arrow just straight down pierces through the target right in the center. Or just slightly off center. Let's save that for the nat 20s. But certainly a fatal hit. Were that anyone shy of something with more than 14 hit points.
Pretty good shot from me, that was. Eltron, what can you do?
Better not to waste my resources, but skin me, Giacomo.
Again. Yeah.
Thank you. Just pour out some of the water.
Oh, the water skin. Oh,
Yeah, I was wondering what he was saying when he said skin me.
Wondered how he got his arm.
I'll give you a high five first, and then and then hand the water to you.
Just sort of shape water so the water comes up over one of the targets, seeps into it, freeze it, take a step back, firebolt, brittle target, smashy, boom, boom.
Okay, is Firebolt an attack roll?
It is a spell attack roll.
Just roll me that, please.
Yeah, I accidentally killed one of the rats.
Boggle, no!
Accidentally on purpose.
Boggle.
It's a
Buckle's
13,
birthday.
which hopefully from about 5 feet away is enough.
13.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you do hit. So it's kind of one of the targets, which is you've as aforementioned, frozen. You kind of get a shoulder, and it smolders a bit and smashes.
I think I was trying to like style it off and do like a no look, and then almost missed it. Was like, yeah. so that's what I meant.
If that's everything that you wish to do, then
I don't think I'm going to waste a 4th level spell slot on one of these targets, Sean. But I did think about it.
Really, Scarlet.
Let's just drain it all now.
Harris sneers and if I must, moves her creepy little hands around and casts acid splash on one of the dummies. Just to you watch it sizzle and melt away.
Your acid have a particular color to it, or is it
Pure green.
Pure green.
Disgusting green.
Yeah, and another of these dummies is dissolved away. Is it a acid splash? Is it an attack roll, or is it a save?
A save.
This is a save. All right.
Go on, dummy, save.
No.
I'm all right.
What sidestep?
I mean, I'm fairly certain an 8 isn't going to do anything. So
No.
Yes, you just kind of spray this thing with enough that it just dissolves away, and there's little more than just a stump with a bit of hempen sack and straw left.
Yep. Goes back to standing behind the cleric.
Job, Hera!
Giacomo. Now, I did say that your bigger bonus would mean that you probably have the better reflexes, but still better reflexes of the two at the bottom. I'm afraid to say, but it is your turn next.
I think I was not really paying that much attention to what's happening. This just seemed a little bit like a waste of time to me, but again, I've been juggling with my knives, so I'm gonna do attack, bonus attack. I'm just gonna throw both knives at one of the dummies. Okay, roll your attack and bonus attack. So first attack, that is a natural 20 for a 27 to hit. Okay. So that first does 9 points of damage. And then the second knife goes flying and hits it for a 16. And that does 7 points of damage. So 16 points of damage. With your natural 20, you literally you throw, and this dagger embeds itself dead center in one of the painted targets on its chest. The other one ever so slightly up and to the left for a kind of very, very close hit. Oh well, I tried. Go over, pull them out, spin, put them away. Go and lean on a gravestone.
Impressive! Quite the arm. Beautiful marksmanship.
Not just a hat stand.
Or a knife stand.
Father chuckles.
And Rex?
Okay, so Rex pulls out a shield and kind of hefts it up slightly, and it's got a large eye on the front of it, like a wide open eye. And he walks forward and starts to draw out some magic from the center of the eye, which forms into small runes. And he approaches each of you. Compassion! And then touches Hera's forehead, and one of the marks stays there. Is your... And he puts the second one on Eltrion's forehead. Is your shield! And then puts the third and last one on Jakarth's head. And as this blessing is put on you, you feel connected with the three, with each of you. And you also feel like you're slightly more lucky, as in you may be able to add a d4 to one of your ability checks, attack rolls, or saving throws. And then he looks towards Eltrion. He looks towards Jakarth and says, when you feel the magic pull you, please go with it. You know what this is going to do. He turns back to Eltrion. I'm going to punch you now. I need you to just to allow it and trust that you will not feel this pain at all, okay?
I trust that I know what will happen if I do, Father Truckles. So you go right ahead.
Behind you, too nice. Hold back.
As long as Jakarth accepts and uses his reaction appropriately, and I'm going to just gently unarm strike into Eltrion.
Roll me your unarmed strike attack.
I was hoping he'd let it happen.
If you just whiff this.
You're still making an attack.
Yeah.
You still might miss me.
It's an 18.
Shield, no.
No, you just do it like, what? What's supposed to be happening?
Nah, that's fine. That'll hit me.
Okay, so as I'm going to punch and deal damage to you, Jakarth, you feel this pull of magic that would allow you to maybe transport yourself over the distance and teleport in the way of that blow.
As I feel this,
take that hit instead.
As I feel this, I just go, again, and I'll swap places.
Yes, so you watch as Jakarth disappears and then reappears in front of you, and I instead punch Jakarth, dealing a point of damage. And that is my protective bond, which allows anyone that is bonded by my spell to use your reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the first creature. So you don't swap places, it's you teleport and you take the damage instead. And then I punch Jakarth and he takes the damage.
Look back to Eltrion and go, he likes to do this an awful lot and I'm always the cushion.
Well, you are a big man and you trust me, whereas if I punch these guys, they might stab me. Put your knives down, Giacomo.
I point them down. They're not away.
as nonchalantly as one can, just spinning a staff around my arm.
And you see, this is a lot of how my magic works, is to enable you to protect each other, as well as me protecting all of you.
Okay. Well, it seems we have quite a capable team here. Is there anything anybody needs before we go and investigate this house? Rations, wills, testaments.
I'm just going to go grab my arrow that I just fired. I'll just walk down, pick it up and wipe some of the acid off that would have splashed over from the other one and then put it away.
No will for me. I have no worldly possessions other than what I carry, and I'm sure that will be looted or buried with me.
I'll loot it.
I know you will.
Share it with me, please.
Elsra is wondering just how much fun he can have tapping Rex on the opposite shoulder with his invisible mage hand. That's going to be like his entire day. All right then, shall we get this plot moving?
An odd thing to say, but very true.
You have the address, number 2, Phaetonian Street. Would you feel free to roll history, or if you feel there might be someone who might know the city quite well, you could.
Should have asked those rats. But on the other hand, they weren't being very pleasant.
Would roll a
They
history
have
check.
cute names, though.
I rolled a 12.
Vocal.
A 14 on history.
14 on history.
This campaign's going really well for me. That's a 2.
23 on history.
I got a non-natural 20. Stuff's starting to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I remember
Nothing that relates to you directly, but maybe
No,
you've been down
absolutely
this
not.
street. I've been to a pub down there.
Pretty much. It's like, I think I performed here. I don't know.
Did Hira roll?
I got a 22.
So 22. I believe, was that a 2 from Jakarth?
2 from me, yep.
And 3 from Eltrion?
23.
23. Okay. Right. Lots of numbers. Those of you who rolled over 15. So it's a big city. There's a lot of streets, but certainly 15 would be enough city knowledge. Giacomo, you really don't know where this has come from. You don't know why. When you try and pull at this, you try and pull at the name of a loved one, and you can't for the life of you. But for some reason, Phaetonian Street is sticking out for you.
I think I've also got that innate thing of going, my boots are taking me this way. I've got an understanding of the streets, and I also know not to go on that side because that will lead to the river. And I'm just like, what is happening? Oh, well.
You make your way towards the Beggar's Quarter. Eltron would remember that the Beggar's Quarter was where the Lonely House had been located. It's kind of the epicenter of where a lot of the city's troubles had happened. A lot of people who were already on the disadvantaged side of the socioeconomic scale were quite badly affected by this. It's this area of Neverwinter is largely made up of houses that it was the worst stricken by the eruption of the volcano several decades ago. And even to this day, 50 odd years on, it's still recovering. There's places where it's literally just the foundations, others which are largely scorched. Some rebuilding work going on, but it's very much got that sense of a town that is being rebuilt, but very slowly and very kind of haphazardly. As you work your way through the streets in the direction that you believe Phaetonian Street to be, what was everyone's passive perception? There was a ridiculous one, wasn't there?
18 is mine.
23, 18,
13.
13, 12, 11, 12.
Still above average.
Yeah.
Yes, you notice more than, the layman. I would say that those of you 11, 12, 13, you do notice that there's a strange kind of quiet about the area. Apart from any conversation that you were having between yourselves, you're not getting a lot of hustle and bustle that you'd expect from a city, even in an area that is a bit more downtrodden. You'd expect there to be some murmuring, people trading between themselves, that sort of thing. And with the 18 and 23, further than that, you realise that it's been a couple of streets since you passed someone, another inhabitant of the city. This area is pretty deserted. And as you round the street, you get an inkling as to why. At the end of the street, there are standing a number of figures just kind of idling. They appear to be humanoid, but a little bit misshapen. Eltrion, you have seen people in a similar state as this. Rex, Jakarth, you as well. You were aware, obviously, of the bloat, but because the team adventures were able to find the cure with enough time that before too much of the city became overwhelmed, you've not seen this stage of progression. However, as you walk around the corner and they start to become aware of your presence, and details begin to resolve on their bodies that are slightly different to what Eltrion remembers. You see that their skin is marred with pocks and crevices of some sort of horrible rash or some ailment that has disfigured their skin. Their skin is also covered in, at a distance you look and you think that they're very large boils. And then one blinks. And you notice that their bodies are covered with additional eyes. And they've noticed you.
That's not normal.
Roll my bow.
They look like bloaters, but the eyes That's new.
That's not a stage of infection that I have seen in the wardrobe of information.
We need to take this road. Is there another way we can go?
We should leave, yes.
Does it look like the houses that are around us are inhabited?
How close are we to the place that we're going to, Sean?
You're still a couple of streets away. With those of you who had knowledge of the city enough to know where it was, you would know that this is the quickest way towards it without having to take a bit more of a meandering route. There's a few kind of dead-end alleys and such that mean that it'll be much more circuitous to go around. You do also notice that because of these extra eyes, they do seem to be more aware, and some of them are starting to shamble in your direction.
I think we make a decision quickly here, folks. Are we going around or are we making a stand?
We can't leave them to infect others. They must be dealt with now or contained.
That's all I need. Fire an arrow.
Okay.
Oh God.
We will count that as your surprise round, but everyone please re-roll initiative.
Hey.
Would this have been within 10 minutes of leaving the temple for my emboldening bond to be selected or not?
It cost you a spell slot, didn't it?
No, it's a feature slot. So I've got 3 per day.
I will say you can count it as because of where the Never Death graveyards are in relation to the Beggar's Quarter. It would be quick enough that you can have a minute left of it.
Okay, that's good.
That's saving throws and attack rolls, right?
Ability check, attack rolls, and saving throws. That's correct. Yeah, it's a default. It's like bless, basically. But
Nice.
the main feature
Stacks
is the.
with bless.
Oh, I know. That's a 13 on my initiative.
Doesn't an initiative count as an ability check?
It does not.
No.
Nah.
That counts as an inability check in my case.
Yeah.
It's a 13 on Rex's initiative.
It's a 13 on Jakarta.
18.
11. I'm just, chilling.
17.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Between Rex and Jokarth, what are your
Just
dexterities?
assume Jakarth has more. He's using a bow.
Probably.
I'm not.
Plus
weak
4.
old man.
Okay, so Josh, you win that tie. So, as you let your bow, your arrow fly, please make your attack now.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. A dirty 20 should indeed hit. Yep, that will hit. So please do roll your damage.
As I sort of fire the arrow and as I see it hit into the body part that it hits into, the scales on that are visible begin to flash up like a shimmering of red, and I am going to do a feature which is called Dreadful Strike. I deal an additional 1d4 psychic damage to them.
Additional 1d4. Okay.
Eltrion is on board with psychic damage.
That is a 10 piercing damage in total from the longbow.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is 1 additional psychic damage.
You get a sort of confused but respectful look over as the psychic output was sensed. Right.
Okay. And now we get into the initiative proper. So our highest roll there was Giacomo with an 18.
Again, sort of looking in, sort of the eyes squinting, and so again, unthinkingly reaches round, pulls out a crossbow, and then sort of looks and was like, don't ask questions. Click, boom.
Okay, roll your attack.
That is a 14 to hit.
14 hits, roll your damage.
And that is a 11 points for piercing.
Cool. As you let fire, you aim towards one of these creatures. Eltrion particularly, having seen 2 of these things take arrows, you're aware that the bloated as they are known, normally upon impact with anything, those that are far enough gone would explode and spray gas. These are not exploding, certainly not yet. Anyway, is that everything on your turn, Tom?
I'm going to say yes for now.
Okay. In that case, Scarlet, 17.
I would just say as a free action to the group as a whole, like, everybody keep your distance. They're known to explode. But thinking privately, I don't know why they haven't.
You're not wrong. They are known to, you know.
Probably posters everywhere saying "Beware, might explode." I'm gonna get my sling out and give that a swap. Yeah.
Okay. Is that an attack roll?
That's an 8.
8.
Out of D4, I think.
You do?
I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
12 might be enough.
Maybe.
Hit them in the arrow.
I hit it in the eye. In one of the eyes.
Many to choose from. What have you got?
10.
10. It's just enough. Roll your damage.
Spies have many eyes.
Those ones.
3. Hopefully it hit one of the eyes. Maybe the corner of the eye. Bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, one of them starts blinking and the eye gets a bit bloodshot. And you don't have multi-attack or anything. Bonus actions? Anything like that?
Just gonna try and back up a little bit so they don't get me or explode on me.
Watch out in case they come from behind.
Yeah.
No problem. Right. Then we have Jakarth.
I will draw 2 arrows this time, and I'll notch the first one, aim it at the exact same target that I fired at before, and I shall let loose.
Cool. Roll your attack.
That is a 17 to hit.
17 hits. Roll your damage.
As it hits, you watch as the Jakarth's eyes flicker draconic for a split second as I use Favoured Foe on that creature. So I deal an additional D4 damage whenever I attack that particular creature. And for Eltrion, he will also see like a psychic wave appear from his head, like a buzzing antenna sort of thing coming off of his head as his scales turn like an amethyst purple briefly, as I will do my Dreadful Strike again. So my Favoured Foe and my Longbow damage in total, that is going to be 10 points of piercing damage. And then the psychic damage is going to be... roll the wrong one, but it's 3 points of psychic damage.
3. Okay. Cookie.
And I'd like to attack again, please, with the second arrow, if I don't kill this one.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I'll do the same thing again.
What tough these little bastards.
That's a 13 to hit.
Did you add a D4?
I didn't add a D4, but I shall.
13 hits.
Oh, 13 hits, okie dokie. So that is going to be... and then Favors Foe again. That is 12 points of piercing damage.
Nice. And you do see that through the hail of fire that has been rained down upon the tide that is surging towards you, one of the creatures does falter and fall down in its tracks as it was advancing. Anything else on your turn?
I would like to back up slowly. I'm going to kind of keep in pace with the Hera, but I want to be just a little bit in front of them, just in case they do, and I want to try and block them trying to attack Hera or the priest.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Cool. Right. Following Jakarth, we have Rex.
So how far away are they at this point?
They're kind of surging towards you. They're around about 30 feet.
How quickly do they surge?
Roughly 35 feet.
They were fast zombies.
They're runners.
They're 28 days later zombies rather than Walking Dead zombies.
And they're looking at kind of just dogpiling, I take it. Like that's what, just they're surging forward, clamoring to attack kind of thing.
They're certainly much more aggressive than any of the other infected that you've encountered before. Yeah.
Okay. So Jakarth is stepping forward slightly and goes, No, Jakarth, save yourself just a moment. Let me show you a new trick I can do. I call this one the hamster wheel of Kellamvor. And I start just running forward. And as I run forward, there's this, like, just charging at the people charging at me. And as I start charging, I go, oh no, a tombstone. And I pretend to trip. And as I trip, I bend my head into roly-poly, and as I do, this sphere of magic forms around me as I cast Ocelix Resilient Sphere, and I'm going to use that momentum to carry on rolling forward, so I'm literally right up against the entire pack of them. I'm like rolling like a little hamster ball, and I go, now then, infected, come for me! And I just stand there like arms out, beckoning them to try and attack me.
Operation Distractable.
Damn, there's tombstones all over the place. They're so easy to trip on.
So I run forward with Ocelix Resilience Sphere around me, and I'm trying to taunt them to attack me.
What? Just for the benefit of the audience and the DM, who totally knows what it is. What does Ocelix Resilience Sphere do?
Cool. So it's a sphere of shimmering magical force, which encloses a creature of my choice. If it is an unwilling creature, it must make a dexterity saving throw. I am a willing creature. Nothing, no physical attacks, energy, or other spell effects can pass through the barrier, in or out. I can breathe in here, but I am immune to all damage whilst inside the sphere, and it can't be damaged from outside. Only the disintegrate ray spell can destroy it.
How much does it weigh, Johnny?
It's weightless, and I can move it.
So I can pick it up with mage hands.
Well, no, because
you over a building.
I'm still in, like, I weigh. So if you wanted to move the ball, which you would have to pick up my weight. But you could do so. So the sphere is weightless and just large enough to contain just me. An enclosed creature can run with it, or you use my action on the next turn if I want to roll with the sphere up to half my movement speed per turn as like a wrecking ball attack. But I'm basically putting myself in front with my shield and mace out with this sphere of radiant energy around me, trying to get them to attack me so my friends have an extra turn before they get surged.
Okay. Anything else in your turn, or literally just Operation Guinea Pig?
Operation Hamster Ball of Kellamvor. Nothing. I can't cast any spells out of this. So maintaining the emboldening bond isn't a concentration or anything like that. It's just active. But everything else would have to me be able to. I can't do anything whilst in here. So I'm just like, come at me, bro.
Okay. Well, yeah, that happens. And
so sorry.
No, good move. Trying to work out how I'm going to deal with it, but while I do that, Dave.
I'm just sort of taking a second to process what I've just seen. A sphere of cleric just rolling. I'm imagining it's like one of those, what they call Zorf balls or something.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, okay then. Right. How many are still up of this shambling mound?
You're counting around about kind of 8 or 9.
Odds.
Is it worth a fireball?
I mean, well,
unhurt me, so.
Or possibly a shattering. Oh, I know what it's worth. Yeah, okay, let's try this. This might cheese this pretty simply. Okay. Hypnotic pattern.
Okay.
So mystical energies coalesce around Eltrium, but there doesn't seem to be a lot going on. Just a focusing of the mind, and you see these sort of this spell energy kind of gathering in front of his head, and it just fires forward and then shimmers out into all of these kind of moving shadows and so on. The rest of you seem sort of oddly immune to it? Or does it affect everybody?
I think unless you've got Careful Caster.
Yeah, okay, that'll affect everybody, each creature in the area. But I think you're immune because you're in the
It
sphere.
won't hurt me,
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
can
fine.
pass through the sphere.
In which case, yeah,
other spell effects.
I'm dumping a 30-foot cube on as many of these zombos, which I'm choosing to think of them as, or bloat monkeys. Cool, and that is a DC 17 Wisdom save for all of them.
Oh, that's a high DC.
Why
Okay.
zombies? Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
it's like if you reskinned from another video game. It's an asset flip.
Right. I'm going to roll all of these at once because I can on D&D Beyond.
ACD Beyond.
I'm using the mobile app to roll.
I've chosen wisely with my my magical items.
Right.
Rolled 72.
Jeepers creepers.
Does it tell me? I wanted those separately, but I now can't see it.
I think it does.
Thanks, D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
There are some things
I've lost it.
Beyond can't do. For everything else, there's paper and pen.
All right. One by one then. One. Fail. 2. Fails. 3. Fails. It was a DC of 17, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4. It fails. 5. Fails. 6. Fails. Very exciting for everyone watching from home. 7. Fails. 8. Fails.
Come on, no whammies.
Rolled a 17. Has a minus. And a natural 1 to finish. Yeah.
This fight's over then.
You watch as all of these creatures are stopped in their tracks, seemingly being covered in eye pustules as they are, unable to avert their gaze from this hypnotic pattern which has hovered above your besphered cleric.
Don't you look at it, Rex.
So beautiful.
If we want to take them down one by one, we can do. I can hold this in place for about a minute. They ain't going to be able to move in that time if we want to go around them. But if you want to give them some peace, we can. We've got until, well, about 60 seconds. I can hold it.
Going to break if we attack them.
On each one individually. So we can take them down one by one and just stand around and cheese them.
Seems like a plan.
What's with you and
Unless they're all-
cheese?
Unless they're connected, and then we will be also screwed.
If there's some sort of hive mind.
Yeah, squad. Well, they have lots of eyes. I wouldn't put it against them. Who
So-
knows?
It would be their turn next. They don't get a save. So on their turn, they literally have to be shaken awake or attacked.
Yep.
So back to the top of the round, Tom.
I'm like, all right then. This is how we're spending our afternoon then. Okay.
I did not expect that to be quite as effective as it was.
DC is 17. I mean, that is
Mate, that's Bloodwell Vial. It's a phenomenal item.
That's another natural 20 for a 27.
okay. Roll your damage.
So first of all, I get 13 points of a crit. And finally, because there's someone here who is in 5 feet of our enemy,
That's me. I'm within 5 feet.
that is another 13 points of damage.
Useful.
Cool. What was the total there? 13 and
26. So
Get the
26.
camera.
So
26 in total.
But so that happens. As that's happening, it clinks in. There's suddenly just a really weird sort of like ghostly noise, and I'm like, what the hell is that? That is Wales from the grave. Another one of them takes 11 points of necrotic damage from as weird moaning comes out, and I'm like, oh, this is a very odd day I'm having.
Just to point out that if you hit more than one, they will both activate.
Well, as
So
the
that's fine.
crossbow embeds itself in one of these stricken creatures, it buries straight into this creature's heart, and it collapses as soon as it's able to move. The other one that takes some necrotic damage, it does begin to look as if it is regaining some semblance of movement.
I just pointed at that one.
Yeah. Take it down!
Shoot her!
Sorry, this is Baldur's Gate video game combat. Just everyone surrounding one enemy and just cheesing it.
It's not
It's
a bad
fine.
way of us dealing with this.
Anything else in your turn?
But for my bonus actions, where no.
Okay. Scarlet, there is one that is not staring in awe at the swirly, lovely disc.
Which is beautiful, by the way. I'm going to sling at it.
Okay.
That's it.
Roll your attack.
Ooh, 24.
24 will hit. Roll your damage.
Lovely. That's a 4.
Not enough to
Hopefully it
send
went
another
right
one.
in the eye. In the eye.
It kind of bounces off of its, for want of a better word, head.
Slings,
Ugh.
when daggers don't have enough range.
I don't want to lose my lovely dagger. It's part of a murder mystery.
Technically, I could sling a dagger. Who knows?
Anything
find out.
else on your turn? Bonus actions?
No. I'm just going to again try and move myself away nicely so I'm not in any kind of line of fire or grabbies. No grabbies.
Jakarth.
This is a question for our priest. How big is the sphere that you're in? Is it like a 5-foot sphere, or is it just around your body in a circle?
The spell description is it's big enough to fit me. So
It doesn't quite span the street, so they can get around the sphere.
Okay, I'm going to see the one that it has clicked out of its thing. I'm going to look to the sphere and the priest inside. I'm going to chuckle under my breath and go, I haven't done this for a little while. I'm going to run up to the sphere with my bow down low, and as my bonus action, my scales turn green briefly as this magical energy goes into the bow as I cast Shillelagh, and then I'm going to golf ball, cricket bat, whatever you want to call it, into the sphere and knock the sphere into the one that is a little bit dazed.
Okay.
Sorry, the one that's not dazed.
Yeah, the one that's free. Yeah, sure. Roll me an attack against your friend.
so
That's kind of PvP.
what is it?
You're
perfect, yeah.
you're protected, but
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
basically
yeah.
weightless.
I love
I
it.
say that's
imagining.
just not cricket, but
Yeah.
kind of.
Make sure you get a hole in one.
That is a 13 in total.
What's your AC?
Mine 17.
17. I would say that it's not so much that you miss because it is a large sphere. It's more that you kind of misjudge the angle, and it kind of it's like doing a slight trick shot, and it doesn't move with quite as much power as you hoped. Kind of bounces off a couple of the others, like in a pinball machine. Not enough to deal damage or anything, so that but you're just kind of ding 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 ding. But yes,
Priest sort of spins around and faces me. Oh, that didn't work.
Eltrion is reevaluating his opinion of Jakarth.
Positively or negatively?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
this and the meaning to fall on his face. It's like it's creating an impression.
in
going
The
to-
Sims, it would be like 2 minus dead friend like smiley faces.
It's all or nothing. It's either epic bow strikes or croquet.
Yep, I'm going to step back. On your own, priest.
Okay. That's everything on your turn. Do you have a
Yes.
do you have a multi attack?
I don't. Do I get multi attack with Shillelagh?
Well, Shillelagh is a bonus action,
Bonus
isn't
action,
it?
so-
So
yes.
it's whether you have another attack with your
I do.
multi attack.
Sod it. Okay, before I walk away, I'll attack it again.
Yeah.
You going for the same again?
I'm going for the same again. Might as well.
Roll again.
That is a 17 this time.
Yes, that's you've managed to kind of get the angle this time, and you literally just kind of snooker cue, just and roll your damage.
Very nice.
That is going to be 7 points of damage.
Fucking upside down.
Damage.
Of bludgeoning.
Yeah, bludgeoning.
Cool.
Otherwise known as being Indiana Jones.
Excellent. That's a bonus action multi-attack. So
Yep, and then I walk back.
no worries. None of them are active enough to attack you. So it is John. You are in a sphere. Can you do anything?
Eltrion, can you maintain that?
Yeah.
Good. I let the sphere drop. Right. This is how you really do it. This is where I fuck up. I'm going to pull out my mace.
I'm like, well, I shot it in the heart. So.
Spray it in the face.
I pull out my mace, and then as the sphere drops, I start to swing it. But as I do, I form this this divine symbol of a skull, and I'm going to use sacred weapon. Sacred flames. No, not that.
Magic weapon?
Spiritual weapon. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to use spiritual weapon, but effectively, what I'm doing is I'm baseball batting it. So I loft the ball, which is the sacred, the spiritual weapon, and I'm going to hit the one that's awake, and then follow it up with a mace into the face. So as you see this, you notice that he looks withered and worn, and you can tell his physical body's not healthy, but he still possesses a lot of strength in the attack.
Roll your. So the spiritual weapons are hitting first, yeah?
Yeah, so that's my bonus action, thrust into the creature, which is only a 10.
Okie dokie. 10 does hit.
That will be 1d8 plus 5. That's 7 points of radiant damage.
7.
That's impressed.
The skull starts meowing as it crashes into him.
Just gaze little cat ears. You're like, oh.
Roll your next attack.
Yeah, I'll follow up with a mace, attempting to hit him in the face, which is a 15 to hit.
15 hits. Roll your damage.
And that's 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
And I'm now there in melee range with my shield and mace out.
Right next to Okay.
Fuck me, Eltrion!
That was bonus action and action. So
My
Eltrion's
movement
turn.
is to stay there.
Well, it's gonna be not a lot of choice. Is the one that's awake still up?
It is.
Okay, it's getting firebolted. Does the +4 apply to spell attacks?
Yeah.
So wait. That's fine. That's a crit fail. So it's a auto miss.
1. Yep. Afraid so.
Yeah. That's fine. Bonus action. I kinetically shove myself out of shame.
I'm standing next to you and I just watch you fall down. I'm like, oh dear. You're right down there, boss.
I tripped. Oh god, I'm holding on to it though, everyone.
Oh no, the tombstones. They're deadly.
My brain, my mind power. Oh yes. Style. Carry on.
So your Rex is now stood right next to this one infected person who is now active. The creature turns to you and your previous taunting.
Oh no!
And its arms just reach out to smother you. It starts to writhe in an uncomfortable way, and its body swells and bloats, and then it bursts. Please, could you make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh no! I
I told you they burst.
This is really good.
I'm not lying to you. You were warned.
I rolled a 17, but -2, so 15.
You are fine. You do take some damage.
I should have kept the spear up.
You take half of this, 7 points of poison damage.
Should have just walked round them.
We could have just rolled you down the road and out.
Could have like log rolled you.
I'm a circus performer, just on the top, like rolling along. Going, "Yay."
But that one is now out, as it has exploded in an attempt to take out the priest. And back to the top of the round, Giacomo. Sorry, what was Rex's thing?
Just a quick thing. Being this close to them, do they appear to be necrotic at all, as in undead?
They're not really undead, no. They're inflicted with this plague. They appear to be still probably a bit far gone to save, but
not classified as undead. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Again, sort of just like, oh, that's horrible. Are we still fighting? Is that the plan, or should we just leave them looking at the shiny? I think I'll turn to Eldrion, just going, boss.
I mean, they're there. Was the priest that wanted to save their souls or what have you?
Padre, what's the plan?
Looks like he's got some soul all over his face.
It's in my mouth as well. It's horrible.
Oh, God.
Don't swallow, Father.
Maintain the spell, Eldrion, and pick them off one by one.
I'm trying. Almost singed my hand just now.
It would also stop the spread of the plague, potentially.
That's true.
Again, just a point. I'm like, fair dues.
Yeah, we're putting a quarantine in place.
A click, boom. That is a 15. That, first of all, is 14 points. And then that is with my sneaky sneak.
I presume we're starting with whoever looks the most injured out of them.
Yeah, I'm cleaning up. That's another 14, so 28 points total.
Nice.
8 in total. And some maths for me. Yes. Okay. So another one, as you launch your attack, starts to writhe back into wakefulness. But it is not downed, but it is also not
happy.
Yeah, not happy.
Yeah. Again, point that one.
Cool. If that's everything on your turn, Scarlet, you're up.
Oh, this is getting boring. I'm gonna
What a bite.
I fling another acid splash this time. It's a dexterity save from 30. Yeah.
Dexterity save. I have a feeling that they might auto fail this because of the.
I think. Maybe.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They're classified as incapacitated.
Yeah, it means they can't take actions or reactions, but I think that's the only.
Okay, so I can still attempt to beat this.
Weirdly, yes, that's how the rules work.
So are they officially incapacitated? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get sneak attack no matter what I do then, because I get it for incapacitated things. How very useful.
No.
Acid splash can hit 2. Are you going to hit 2?
No, I'm only going to try and hit one
Only going to
at a
hit
time.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, on a dexterity save, that is a 15.
Oh, it beat it. It beat my 13.
Probably. It's not moving as such. It's more that the angle would potentially have caught Rex, and you're fairly certain that would be frowned upon. So you don't quite cover it enough with enough to damage it fully.
Okay. Does it take half?
It's a cantrip, isn't it? I don't believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wah, wah.
Wow. Wow. Bonus actions?
No, just again try and hide myself back away.
Jakarth.
I will pull out another arrow, notch it, and I will fire at the one that is weakest.
Okay.
Weakest looking.
I think you should hit Rex into them again.
Yeah.
I'm not. My ball's gone.
With no spear.
Did you say your balls are dropped?
Yes.
Finally, shalom.
That's a 25 to hit.
25 hits, roll your damage.
And I will use my Dreadful Strike as well. So that is going to be 14 points of piercing damage and 3 points of psychic damage.
Okay, and you watch as another one bites the dust.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, falls to its knees, pierced through with arrows and crossbow bolts.
How many are left?
There are still 5 left.
Okay,
We
so
have 5 turns to kill them.
I'm going to spin round. As I fired the arrow, I sort of duck down on one knee as I'm moving backwards, spin round and fire another one. Because I feel like doing the trick shot. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
21 hits, roll your damage.
Holy wow.
That is a 12 to hit. 12
damage.
Piercing damage.
Okay. Anything extra to that, or is it just...
Just that. I get the Dreadful Strike once per turn.
That's right. Yep, still standing, but this one's quite badly hurt at this point.
Okay, I growl, and then I will action surge, draw 2 more arrows, and fire both of them at the same target.
Nice. Roll your attack.
So 13 to hit.
13 hits, roll your damage.
That is 9 points of damage, piercing.
Cool. You watch as this target falls to its knees.
Is it dead?
That one's dead.
Okay, so I said the other arrow would hit that one. That's gone.
If you're sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to get through them somehow. In that case...
And yet it hits the other one, just
Yes.
accidentally gets in the
Okay, yes, we'll say that somehow it hits the one next to it.
I mean,
get through this.
So
you fire the arrow. The first one hits it and knocks it over, and the other one just carries on past into the one behind it.
Go for that then.
Roll your...
That's a natural 1 for a 12.
Yeah, that'll be why this one missed.
Yeah, that's karma.
Yeah. Cool.
Good news is you don't activate the one behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Don't activate any. Oh, is that the penalty for it being a? It doesn't do any damage, but it slaps it in the face, so it's now awake.
there you go.
Yeah, because this will be boring otherwise. That's the effect of your natural one.
Yeah, I apologise. I have rendered this fight somewhat unexciting. On the other hand,
if we stay alive,
it's what the spells. Yeah, exactly. It's not like we're not going to need these resources later. Do you know what I mean?
Chat. Discuss amongst yourselves. Which was your favourite attack against the completely useless foe so far?
That's the end of my turn.
Hypnotic Pattern is just such a good spell.
Johnny, it is Rex's turn.
Perfect. So there's 4 incapacitated and 1 awake.
3 incapacitated, 1 awake.
Okay. What do you think? Can we take them all on at the same time?
Why though?
I'm itching.
Activate hard mode. Oh no!
he's got the pox. Throw holy water at him.
It's the plague. It's making him crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I will kill him.
I know there's 1 awake, but I need to be outside of melee range for this to work. So I'm going to take a step back with my shield and my mace.
Okay, so you're going to take an opportunity attack.
I am. Yeah.
It explodes.
Key.
Out of fury. How dare you?
It's like Dark Souls. Just someone just tanking all the poison.
Don't think I can do that.
I'm really weak.
Quick, somebody heal. Oh wait.
We threw the old man at them.
We pulled him in.
Operation Get Behind the Agent.
That is a 24.
Yep. Oh no! Not again!
What's in my mouth?
It's a con save, right?
No, it's just a claw.
plus attack.
It's just slashed you. That is 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay, perfect.
Is
Okay,
everyone
and,
else getting the half every time I roll, by the way? Or is it just me? DMD Beyond giving me some
can't
SFX.
hear
I think I'm saying it.
Potion bottles.
Yes. Cool. So you take your 5, but you carry on your turn.
I'll take another 5 feet back, so I'm 10 feet away, and then I'm going to hit my mace on my shield, and as it does, that radiant energy comes from the eye again, which starts to glow around the mace, and I kind of sling it forward. Just a quick question: because they're incapacitated, do we get advantage on attacks against them? I know sometimes you do.
I
When people
don't believe so.
Okay,
I
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I get my sneak attack from
Yeah, because
incapacitated.
I thought it did, but I wasn't sure if it did or not.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's just actions and reactions. But on the other hand, I might.
Yeah, but
be wrong.
if you're restrained and incapacitated, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's just,
I like to think this is happening in World as well. You're
yeah,
like,
we're like,
is this going to work?
Can we just check a second? Hang on. Can we just check? Are they,
I pull out my player's handbook from my bag. Flick through it.
It just says incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. It doesn't say that they're easier to hit or anything.
They can still like limbo out the way.
Yeah, one of the bloated out the other side of the map. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
okay, that'll
Just
be
run through them all.
So I lob this spiritual energy forward from the mace, which
Nice.
glows with this skeletal hand of Kalimvor. And it's a 27 to hit.
27 will hit, yes. Roll of damage.
And that will be... This is a guiding bolt, by the way. That will be 20 points of radiant damage.
20 radiant. It's still standing, but it's not looking happy.
And then the skull that's just hovering next to it. It's my bonus action. I'm going to slam that into it. Just my spiritual weapon. He's got to do something, eh?
Roll your attack.
That is a 14 to hit. That one.
14 hits, roll your damage.
Where is it?
When he does a bite, it's fine.
It's in 7 points of radiant damage.
7.
27 total for that time. And then I'm again shield and mace out. Come on then!
How is Rex looking, by the way? Is he still looking quite robust?
Oh yeah, I mean he's always kind of like hunched over slightly, but there's just a bit of like stuff dripping off him.
Cool.
But he looks fine.
All right.
Dave, you're next.
Do you want, I mean, I'm tempted to kind of just try and speed up this process, but
Don't be a hero!
I'm such a fucking min-maxer, Sean. I can't justify to myself why I would use the spells. But you know what? Going to
Yeah.
remember.
I moved 10 feet away for a reason, just in case.
It's time. It's time to start this puppy on fire. Right. First thing I'm gonna do. I'm going to. What is it? Mind slither one of these bad boys. The one that's the most injured. So it's
The most injured one?
Intelligence save DC 17. Assuming it's going to eat it, but we'll see.
I love our party dynamic.
So that would be a 4.
Yep, it eats it. So it takes 4 psychic damage, but will also have 1d4 off the next saving throw it has to make.
It is still
I'm
standing.
Going to use some sorcery points to cast a quicken spell, and I'm going to cast flames just wreath around my hands, and then I blast them forward in a scorching array.
Okay.
So first of all, I will attack the injured one. It's a 15 to hit.
15 hits, roll your damage.
Massive 6 fire damage, and then again, same one. 11.
That one actually, with 6 points damage, falls over.
Oh, nice.
They'd.
Next one in line, 11 to hit.
11 just hits, yes. Or not just.
Amazing.
Just in a bit.
7 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then once more for luck. That's a 17 to hit.
Hits, roll your damage.
takes another 9 points of fire damage.
Cool. Still standing, but very badly burned.
No props. And I will just back up a little bit and be like, we've got this.
After your turn, the zombie, which is now awake, surges back into life towards the closest living target, living and or flesh-based. Just, so our dead companions don't feel left out.
Thank you.
I mean,
It is people.
Launches into a clawing attack, trying to break through your defense. So, first attack is a natural one. And the second is a 2.
Oh.
So I'm pretty certain my +5 7 is not going to hit you.
Foiled again!
So this is very unsuccessful.
It just ripped off its own arm and hit itself in the face with it.
That's everything that it can do. So
That's meowing.
carry on down the line. Tom, Giacomo.
Okay, so this one is within 5 feet of Rex now, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna. It's precision. It's almost surgical. That is 12 to hit.
Of it.
So we start with a lovely 5, and then we move on to a 14. So 19 points piercing.
19 in total.
It's worth me taking some damage for that.
I mean, we're making a strategy. here.
We are. It's working well.
Yeah.
I can see this going in the future.
Precisely how much that one had left. So not a point to spare. This one just downed.
Maybe I was a surgeon or something. Or was I an assassin? Oh no. Deal with that later. I will also, if people are stepping back, I will sort of, actually, I'm staying near Eltrion, but sort of like stepping back, just following the party.
Okay. That's everything on your turn. Then Scarlet, you're up.
this time I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Hey!
Okay.
Toll the Dead.
That is a wisdom save, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
It is spooky.
Spooky bell.
Ah!
Boing.
Boing.
That's what it sounds like. It's just like boing. Like, what?
Wisdom, that would be a 9.
Ah, fail. Bong for you.
He's taking damage as well.
Take a bong.
What's the damage? Now, this one hasn't taken any damage.
Ooh.
No, so it is only a D8. Because the one that was just killed was killed literally to the point. So yes, 7.
Yes,
Cool.
with a spooky bell.
Right. Anything else with your bonus action,
Back up.
Josh?
I get on one knee, I pull out 2 arrows from my quiver and slam them into the ground, and I get into a position and I begin to aim. I pull out one of the arrows, flick it around my finger onto the bowstring, pull it back to the point where the bow itself begins to bend, and then I let go because somebody forgot that they have sharpshooter, so I'm going to use sharpshooter.
Okay.
That is a 21 minus 5, so that's a 16.
Yep, that still hits. Roll your damage.
And I will use Dreadful Strike as well. So that is going to be 24 points of piercing damage with the sharpshooter and 1 point of psychic damage. So 25 damage in total.
Okie dokie. Still standing, looking significantly less happy than it was.
And then I pull out the second arrow from the ground, let it twist around my fingers like a coin, and then just ping and fire it again.
Oh, show off. I love it.
That is a 15 to hit with the minus 5.
Already with the -5, yes, that still hits.
And that is going to be 20 points of damage, piercing.
And the second one bursts.
Yay.
So I think. No, sorry, third one bursts. There's 2 left.
We're all just giving little nods there, like, yeah.
Yeah. And
Anything else on your turn?
I will stay on my knees and I will just shout to the priest. Priest, move back.
Oh, well. John,
Not too far.
It is Rex's turn.
Oh, yes, quite. When they're dead, I'll move back. I'm gonna. Hera, that was quite good. I love that. Here's mine. Boing. As I will toll the dead. Is one of them is awake now? I believe.
Yes, one is.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
it has
I'll-
taken damage.
I'll make a wisdom saving throw for him then, please.
Cool.
As I go, boing.
Once
Bill
again, no
attack
actual
literally you
bell.
going. Is your bill attack literally you going boing?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
wisdom save. 16.
So, well, that's a 16 on the dice. However, wisdom, they have -2, so it's 14. And you can roll d12.
I can, and I roll 2d12s because it goes up.
Nice.
So that is 5 plus. I could have just rolled 2, couldn't I? That's really awkward. 12, 17 plus 5. 17 plus 5, anyone? 22? 22 points of damage. And then as the rippling effect of the spell dissipates, the skull just appears in front of its face and goes, ah! And attempts to attack it.
And is precisely the amount of damage needed to kill that one outright. There is one left standing.
Okay, then I will maintain my ground. Wait, does the Toll the Dead kill it, or does the spiritual weapon kill it?
It was the spiritual weapon.
That's fine.
Killed it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just I'll stand my ground there with my shield and sword. Shield.
Okay.
Nice.
Last one left, and Dave, the Eltron, it is your turn.
Good old-fashioned firebolt.
Okay. Roll your attack.
That's a dirty 20,
Hits.
and that's a dirty 6 points of fire damage.
Cool.
Every
And
little helps.
this one bursts into life as the last one, still entranced by your hypnotic pattern.
Itching it.
And is that everything on your turn?
Yeah, I mean, I could shove it, but why?
Just be vindictive. Push it over.
It launches itself towards Rex, and again sinks down low and grips its arms around your waist as its body starts to swell and inflate and eventually burst. Please
Shut your
could you make
mouth.
a Constitution save.
As it grabs me
Your
around the
eyes.
waist. As it grabs me around the waist. I took a vow of celibacy. -2 on my con. Come on, dice. That's a 13.
13 is not enough.
Oh, I forgot to
Take
close
the
my
fall.
mouth.
Oh,
Yeah, you had to make that little snide comment. You just opened your mouth.
It wasn't the mouth though. It was the eyes.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. You take 10 points of poison damage, and you feel something seeping into your being. You're not entirely sure what it is at this point, but you feel like you've contracted something.
Is it a disease?
It is a curse.
Perfect. That's
Think
fine.
about it. We really should have brought some of the cure with us.
yeah, I was just thinking that.
It's okay.
You mean the
however,
cure that I
this-
have on me?
Sorry?
I said, what? You mean the cure that I have on me?
I've been carrying these vials around all this time.
Yeah.
I reach
How
into
did
my
you
pockets and pull out
select
6. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Vials for days.
However, with this last one exploding itself onto your cleric, you are now out of combat. What would you kind of do post battle?
I would go and pick up any arrows that I can. I fired a total of 9 arrows.
Okay.
How many do I retrieve?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not one who tracks things like this. I would say that if in your own mind you want to be able to track this, let's say Robert, roll me a D8. So 1 is definitely irretrievable. It's just too far embedded in the creature that you downed with it.
That's 1.
You kind of go through, and whatever this new stage of the affliction is, the skin is too tough for you to actually retract the arrows. It's kind of solidified and hardened, so you can't retract. Some of them you manage to get the shaft out, but the arrowhead itself, which is the useful bit, remains within.
Okay, I'll take out as many of the shafts as I can, and the 1 arrow that I can get out. And
Roll me a D6.
D6. 5.
5. Yeah, so the first one, you kind of really forcefully go, and you unfortunately twist too much, and the shaft cracks. But the rest, you manage to be a bit more careful. So you retrieve 5 shafts and 1 full arrow.
Okay.
You want me to do that too for crossbow bolts?
If whatever pleases you.
Hey, if it's the rule we're making, then might as well.
Roll me another D8.
Cool.
Just pleased we took down the bloat posse.
That is a 6.
6. Yeah. So again, the crossbows have embedded a fair distance in, but the bolts are more streamlined. The arrowhead's more built in, so you're able to retrieve a few more of the crossbow bolts than Jakarth. Or maybe you're just less picky about the.
I'm not that
fire.
fussy. Yeah. I almost feel like I snap off some of the ones that he's left. Just like, I could probably do something like that.
As you turn around, you can see Jakarth is holding one of the shafts in his hand, and the scales on his left hand begin to go green as he casts Druidcraft to try and form it into a new arrow.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Using the vines.
Nice.
Nice.
I am Groot.
I would actually check on Rex because, everyone was like, I gotta get my tools. It's like, guys, they're like covered in fucking poison. Throwing his guts up.
You have the ability to move things with your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you, move some of this off my clothing?
Snap my fingers and just press the digitate, so at least your clothes are clean.
Yeah.
You may kind of throw up again or something, so just let me know. I'll keep you clean. Just kind of, all right, don't be too alarmed, but if you feel your anus starting to grow over, just let us know. All right? And we may have to do a bit of a stabby thing. It happened before. Don't think about it too much, but just let us know.
fine
Out
with
of my
me.
knife. It's like,
Standard procedure, I understand.
To be fair, it's not the first time I've seen the priest covered in gunk, so...
How are you feeling, Rex?
Oh, well, I much prefer if I was the one to take the blows and keep you all safe, which is, I think, I've done.
The back of your hand is starting to itch, though.
Sure. Not quite the most pleasant of feelings to get covered in all that, but yes, probably fine. I can't imagine there's anything terribly or seriously wrong. It's only episode 1.
I can cauterize them.
Oh no! I can take care of that myself. I am a priest after all,
Well, you're brave man, Father. Brave man.
Oh no! I've just lived a lot longer than all of you little young whippersnappers. Well, I lived, I should say, mostly more than most of you.
Eltra's just thinking like, I'm a half elf.
I'm definitely older than you, priest.
Yeah, I know. But give an old man his dues. I'm not even that old, really, but
It's like 22.
I'm actually 22. But
I am just heal wounds myself, just to bolster my health a bit.
Rex, you, as this kind of conversation is going on, you become aware of this droning sound in the background, and slowly, Jakarth, you become aware of it as well. This just monotonous humming noise. as the rest of you start to also hear this noise, Rex and Jakarth, you look to the skies and notice these huge figures flying, insectoid with translucent wings. As they get closer, you realize that they're kind of shaped like huge honeybees. However, instead of multifaceted eyes, they have a single humanoid eye in the center of their face. They land, well, they're approaching and appear to be heading towards where the slain infected are. Would you stand your ground? Would you attempt to get away? What's your intention?
I think we should move back quick. Maybe hide, or at least attempt to.
Move back or move forwards?
Back.
All right.
Move back, but I am watching intently. Like, fascinating.
I turn around, usher them back quickly into the corners.
See what they do.
Are you hiding then, or are you just kind of stepping back, trying to not be?
I think trying to hide.
Try and hide, yeah.
Stealth checks all round, please.
May I cast a spell, please?
Of course you may.
I would like to cast. Well, I say a spell. I've reflavored my spells, and I'm going to cast Hidden Dragon, which is basically pass without trace, and give everybody a +10 to their stealth.
I'll wait till you cast Crouching Tiger.
Yes, that's why I called it that.
Just for flavour, Sean, I'm using prestidigitation to dirty my clothes because I know bees do like pheromone stuff, so I want to just smell like street.
Okay.
Oh no, that's a natural one.
So with your pass without trace, you would get your +10. That's a natural 1 from Rex.
I have disadvantage because of my heavy armor. So.
The 35 from Jakarth.
18.
28.
28.
Okay, so
We're hiding in the same
Where
barrel.
did everyone go?
as your check as a group on average is ridiculously high, you do manage to kind of find yourself a spot where you can be as inconspicuous as possible. And as far as you're aware, these giant honeybees do not seem to notice you. They land near to the fallen creatures, and give me some active perception rolls because you're all intently watching what they're doing.
19 from me.
Oh, 27.
I'm just looking at the ground. That's a 3. Don't look at me, bees.
No, you are pretending to be the street. So
Yeah. I am the pavement.
16 for me.
16, okay.
Eve.
I think possibly with the exception of Eltrion, it's probably explains your stealth roll as well. You've hidden in such a way that you are hidden from them, but you are also enabled to really see around what you've chosen to hide behind. But those of you who did get higher than a 13, you can see that they appear to be rifling through the bodies, trying to retrieve something. That's the best that you get. Those of you who got higher than a 16 or higher, you see that they appear to be plucking the eyeballs out of the sockets, the additional boils and buboes that have developed into eyes. They are plucking them out, seem to be attaching them to the legs, where they must have some sort of sticky hairs on their legs for collecting such items. They go around to all of the creatures, those that did not burst, retrieve as many eyes as they can, turning them over, even going as far as to remove items of clothing to see if there are any hidden by trousers and boots, etc. Deciding that they have obtained as much as they may from these fallen creatures, they take once more to the air and fly down the street in the direction that you were headed.
Seems they're collecting eyes of some sort.
Must have some of those eyes for myself. I am fascinated by this.
Just
also-
checking that's not normal, right?
It doesn't seem normal.
Yeah.
They're also going in the direction that we intend to go, so that doesn't bode well for us.
Why, bees? What?
Bees,
This-
my God.
This is new.
Pretty sure
There weren't
Durek
bees
didn't.
last time.
Eltrin, Durek didn't summon bees, did he?
Durek summoned a lot of shit that Durek didn't mean to. Durek was not the mage that he thought he was. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for us, well, anyway. Let's just say the guy has a habit of getting his face torn off by a hideous ethereal monstrosity that he thinks is his lover.
You say habit as if that happened more than once.
I mean, I imagine it's a habit forming.
His ethereal lover wasn't a honeybee, was it?
I mean, who knows what the guy's
I was
into.
hoping you did.
There was a whole replicating cat hyena sort of thing, and anybody who has those in their house, well, you got to make questions about their general sanity, you know.
Yeah, quite.
But
Also means,
bees are strange.
it also means that if there are honey bees or bees of any sort involved, there's got to be some sort of a queen or something.
Logical.
I did ingest some of that fluid, so I would like to seek medical attention within the next few days, but perhaps we progress along further and see what we can find, being stealthy as we are.
Oh, come here for a moment then. Let me look at you. Just puts a hand on his face. Just starts turning it around.
I should have worn my mask.
Where is it? I want to check it over.
Are you? Give me a medicine check to.
Yes.
Could I assist?
I would say that you could assist because you're willfully allowing.
Remember
Say
the
R.
training, Hera? Remember what to look
Yes.
for?
You can roll again
Stick your tongue out further.
I can't! That's as big as it is.
You still pull it out.
Oh!
with a 16. You inspect Rex as best as you can with the knowledge that he's kind of passed on since you passed on, and you notice that. So he was scratching his hand, and it seems to be quite bobbled and puckered already with what appear to be the initial signs of boils growing, like growths on the skin. And you check kind of down his arms, any kind of exposed skin that you can get to. You have a look, and it does seem that this is beginning to affect his entire dermis, as the skin kind of hardens, but is swelling in places.
Mm,
I forgot you were talking about me
Interesting.
again.
you're fine. He's not fine. You're absolutely fine. Don't worry. He's really not. It's disgusting.
I'm right here.
Shh, you're fine.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Were you planning on investigating to see if you could find any eyes?
I am now.
It would be good to see if
said it.
those bees missed anything.
Give me investigation roll, Hera, and anyone else who wishes to see if there's any more.
Yes, I want those
I'm
eyes.
just going to tend to myself. I'll give myself a little cure wounds to get some of the impact damage gone from the blasts, if that's
I
okay.
can also do that in the natural 20 for 23.
Unsoil myself and offer Giacomo some cheese. And Rex, if you want to.
I'll just put it in my mouth and swallow it like.
With an 18, you're looking around and you can see that these bees have stripped a lot of the clothing away, and you can see that the bodies, now that you've had a chance to inspect them, they're exhibiting some of the signs of the previous bloated, like their joints are less defined. They didn't really have a neck to speak of. It kind of went straight from the shoulders up to where their ears were. Every place that there was an eyeball is now just an empty socket, which appears to have just formed out of the flesh where it had been encased. In some cases, it was on a cheek, and quite the flesh was a bit too shallow, so that it didn't really form. So you find some that look like they tried to form a larger eye but didn't. But those areas that are kind of like on the stomach and the side, the shoulders, where they actually had enough flesh to kind of mold, became more kind of tennis ball sized. You don't find any of that size. With your natural 20, Jokarth, you are looking around and you do find that there are some clusters of smaller eyes that hadn't yet formed into a singular eye. So if you wanted to, you could retrieve some little eyeballs. Roll me a d6.
Hera, there's some... you said you wanted some eyeballs, yes?
Yes.
There's some small ones here. It looks like they didn't... What's the correct word? Congeal into one eye in order for them to be harvested, I suppose. That's a 4.
+2, so 6.
I'll take 6 eyes out. I'll make sure I do it with my gloved hand. And do you want those?
Yes. Scavenger.
For science.
Okay, what are you doing with your recovered eyes?
What a question.
I have a good little herbalism kit and everything, so I'm going to try and like pop them into any kind of little jar or little thing that I've got for later. Like, yes, I shall look over this quite intently.
Okay. That seems to be everything that you can recover from these stripped bare corpses.
Seems that somehow whatever this version of this variant of the bloat is possibly causing them to be infected with these eyeballs, maybe, and then they form into one eye, which is then harvested by those honeybees and probably taken back to the queen for whatever reason. Is going to be my guess.
Fascinating. I've never heard of bees doing such a thing.
It's just like harvesting pollen for them, isn't it? It's just different.
Well, yes. Good shout.
Yes, I do sometimes state the obvious.
Are you suggesting they're making eye honey?
I mean, eye candy's a thing, so...
Again, pointing like...
You would know.
It's kind of you to notice.
He is very handsome.
He's a very good-looking half-elf.
Could also be used to create more honeybees. They have that singular eye in the center of their faces.
I guarantee.
Oh, it's so itchy.
I'm scratching it.
Tell me what to do.
I mean, do you not have cure for that, priest?
Yeah, well, I thought I did, but my healing spells hasn't got rid of it. And it's not poison. It's something more.
We don't have a cure. I know who might.
Well, the problem side is that I've never seen them grow eyeballs before. The cure we had for the old plague was eyeball-less.
Right enough, but the source of it would probably be the same person.
Yeah, quite. Oh, you mean to go on and see if we can find more? Yes, I'm with you on that one. I think we should press forward and see if we can find more. Knowledge is power, after all.
And we do have a contact.
We do.
Assuming that they haven't been...
Indeed. Oh!
So are you pressing forward to Phaetonian Street?
Yes, let's be on our way.
Stealthily,
Buzz off.
if possible.
Stealthily sounds wise.
I would let
Take your armor off, Rex.
I would let you maintain your
Delicacy.
stealth rolls unless anyone wants to do anything a bit different.
Like
Still
a
got
better
plus
roll.
that trace rate, so
Yeah, and as an average, like you kind of cover the lower rolls.
Just carrying Rex so that the armor doesn't clank.
Rex is just like, I'm itchy.
As you make your way towards Phaetonian Street, you pause at the mouth of the street for the buzzing that you'd heard previously has gotten louder and louder. It's not unbearably loud, but you're definitely walking towards the source of it. And as you kind of peer around, you can see that Phaetonian Street appears to be those of you who know Neverwinter would know that the Beggar's Quarter, before it was hit by the volcano, was actually quite affluent. It was where a lot of the markets were. So there are the remains of some very large houses, and this appears to be a street where some of the larger houses were. You can see that they're detached from each other, and the grounds are quite are largish. You see, number one, Phaetonian Street appears to be more or less normal, apart from the obvious damage due to the volcanic eruption. Number two, Phaetonian Street is covered in a paper-like structure that appears to be very similar to that of a very large hive. And there are more wasps flying around, going about their business, some with eyes attached to their legs and others appearing to be off on their hunt. And that is where we shall draw this episode to a close. So, thank you very much for staying with us.
Wasps.
Unbelievable.
Are they wasps or are they bees? Because there's some people who have some real thoughts about that.
They're hornets.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Marble hornets.
I mean, we will learn more about the bees, surely.
But what if we didn't? What if we just left?
So, thank you everyone, for joining us and being part of that. I mean, I'd love to say bloodbath, but I mean, very procedural operation, which
Clinical.
bordering on clinical removal of. I mean, this is how we have to deal with the plagued, and I think you've shown us exactly how it can be done. So well,
Rex as the plague magnet.
well done for circumventing that. That's exactly what you need to be doing to survive. If you enjoyed tonight, we play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. GMT. We've got some weirdness, haven't we? With do we have weirdness? Will it be daylight savings?
Next couple of weeks, I think. Yeah,
we will be starting at a time and finishing at another time.
Be on Twitter.
Yeah, it'll be on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think isn't there like 2 weeks where it's at 5 p.m. But I think maybe we've gone back
until we catch up with America.
Yeah.
There's also the schedules on the Twitch channel, I think, and stuff.
It's in the chat.
I'm going to be honest. I barely know what time it is most days, let alone what time we're streaming. But I do believe that we're going out on a Tuesday, so I can tell you that much. And of a Monday, we will be, I believe, returning to the Eternal Army. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sounds right.
We'll dub over this bit with the correct stuff if I'm wrong.
Just ADR it, it's fine.
So thank you for joining us for this 6-part, the first of 6 in this, what I'm hoping is going to be a horror show, and is probably going to turn out to be more clinical removal of any threat.
I just hope we get a long rest at some point.
No.
Goodbye, Rex. We'll just cut your eyelids off, it's fine.
In addition to our shows on a Monday and a Tuesday, we also have Talk Together on a Friday, again beginning at 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. Delete as appropriate. Where it's our chat show where we interview our players, DMs, other TTRPG people, and talk about all sorts of fun things, or whatever the dice demand, because that's our shtick. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. Just search for, you guessed it, Roll Together RPG, and you can probably find us. Let us know if you can't. A massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There'll be a link in chat now on the side. Do join them, because every penny helps us make all of this fantastic content and make sure that we have fabulous, amazingly talented people such as the five arrayed around me right now. Big thanks again to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, and Elderwood Academy, and our supporters, D&D Beyond, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. And don't forget, we are all over the social medias as Roll Together RPG. So, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Buzz.
Bye.